clicks. Otherwise, he can't get clicks.
So I'm going to take this piece of media, which isn't political, and I'm going to twist it into something which is.
He just uses it as the container for his thing. It's not even about the thing that he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to do a video about Castle Doctrine where nobody dies.
It's like his thing is like, I'm going to talk about this, but then I'm going to connect it to something which is completely disconnected from the thing I'm talking about, but yet I'm going to say it's the same thing.
He really just wants to talk about politics and complain about the right-wing stuff. But you need to attach it to a movie of some sort so people would listen.
Well, I'll explain what it is. It's the idea that everything is political because they project their political ideas and see it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
It's circular logic.
Well, the only thing that's sadder than that video that he made about Home Alone was the fact that his fans are watching it and going, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's the only thing sadder.
Right on, bro.
Oh my god,
I totally see it.
You're so right.
The white bourgeois family is attacking the evil poor people who are trying to steal from them.
And he kept calling the police pigs.
God, that last one pissed me off. Where he's like, Kevin's parents are well, he's also said Trump, but Kevin's parents are responsible for that homeless lady losing her home. I'm like, what
the fuck?
How's that possible?
Well, you made a really good comment in the chat where you said that he lost something and he got it back. And you're like, well, how did he lose something? And how did he get it back? Maybe it was the police that went and got it for him. Maybe. So.
I love the idea. It's like, I have been in a Home Alone scenario because someone almost, they tried to break into my house. I'm not saying that they actually succeeded, but they attempted it. Look, guys, listen. Someone stole my package.
I want to tell everyone that I was a victim of a Home Alone type attack because one day someone stole a package off of my porch. I know exactly what McAllister went.
I've gotten one of the trucks that I've owned. Well, my family owned, broken into. It pissed me off a lot. Because it meant a lot of work. It's all like you pay with your labor, and that's the funniest thing is that so-called people that represent
so-called people.
Yeah, they're
not people.
They tend to claim that they want to help people out and help the worker like earn their fair share, and then they have no problem if somebody else steals their labor's like the fruit of their labor, and I think that's disgusting, especially when you take into consideration how much effort it takes to make anything. Like yesterday I was watching some veterinary show with my dad on National Geographic, and I was just like amazed at how much labor this one like Polish guy who was this veterinarian or whatever had to put in to pull a cow out of another cow, check to see if the cows are pregnant by putting on a sheath and sticking his hand up a cow's pussy and shit, like all this crazy stuff. Like, wow, that takes a lot of work just to raise the food that I eat. Obviously, I better give them credit. In fact, I want to pay more money now because I see the labor and I think, wow, it's actually ridiculously cheap to get the value that I have feels lesser than the effort that was put into making that cow. But I'm not going to suddenly convert to socialism. You know what I mean? I want.
Well, another thing is that you're buying a relatively small part of the cow when you go out and get food, for instance. Like when you get a sausage, the sausage is a very small part of a pig.
What was that
and
documentary?
Ultimately, all those parts would go together.
Some of the documentary, if they wanted to make their own hamburger as opposed to going to McDonald's, like he actually bought a cow, harvested it, grew the lettuce, do all the condiments. He did everything, and it cost somewhere around, I think it's like $6,000 or so to do all this work just to make a hamburger. So
yeah, just to make one. And I understand that it's like distributed, but I still feel like when I watch the farmer's farm in the United States and then I look at how much it costs to get a McDonald's hamburger, and something just doesn't add up.
Well,
to me.
You know what
something
it is, right?
Feels wrong.
It's because McDonald's hamburgers are shit.
Yeah.
So what they do is they get cardboard and they hide it as bread, and then the meat is secretly I don't know,
some sort of pink goop.
Yeah, it's goop.
The pink goop. Thanks, Shiny. That's
you
great.
See, it's the extract from the Gwyneth Paltrow's company goop. They take the goop from the goop and then they put it into they compress it down.
Oh, sounds delicious.
McDonald's where all the aborted babies go.
Tastes like America. That's
Oh, no.
I remember reading a story about this was like I think a couple months ago about Taco Bell stating someone found like metal shavings in their taco meat.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember reading the story and I'm thinking like and I pretend to be a Taco Bell employee. It's like, well, that's weird. We put wood shavings in there.
How did that get in there? That's for the taco shells.
But I remember the only I've tried McDonald's here in the UK in several cities. It's always tasted terrible. I've gone to McDonald's even in America. It still tastes like terrible. I was at
oh, absolutely.
I was at Denver Airport and I had to wait a couple hours. So I just sat around and thought, okay, the only food I can get around here is a fucking McDonald's. Oh, fine, I'll go and get McDonald's because what you've got there. So you go to Gatwick Airport, you have a W.H. Smith's where you can get like an old breakfast sandwich, or you can get a meal deal, you get a sandwich, packet of crisps, a nice drink, or you could go to all these places that offer some food that isn't burgers, and then you go to Denver, and Denver is just Dunkin' Donuts, Jamba Juice, Ben and Jerry's, McDonald's, Burger King. It's like, what the fuck?
Is Denver Airport the one that has like the horrifying mural on the wall that's like the genocide of all races or whatever, and also spooky. Isn't there like a red-eyed spooky hell horse in the front of that too? There's this conspiracy and stuff I heard that there's like tunnels underneath Denver Airport, all this spooky junk. I'm like,
I haven't seen anything
weird is going on there.
But Shiny, you have to realize that McDonald's makes money, therefore it's good. It's objectively tasty. It's objectively good food for you.
We have to say that it's good art because it makes money.
Because it makes money.
Yes.
Well, I forgot you were looking at all the TLJ defenses for Ray. Ray makes money, therefore she is good.
Therefore, it's written well.
The menus are different. The menus are different in different parts of the world. They're a lot larger, I noticed, in the States than they are in Canada and Australia.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You get your money's worth.
America's the best.
Yeah, right? You get the real money. You get used to spend the real hamburgers, and they're gigantic. So,
although I would say that it's probably better to go hungry than to eat McDonald's.
Yeah, at least I gotta admit that
when you're going hungry, you're not ingesting poison. So it's better to eat nothing than to eat poison, I think.
Have any of you ever tried their fries when they forget to put salt on them?
No, I haven't had
McDonald's fries.
Okay. McDonald's in like over 5 or 6 years, I want to say, and I haven't had a burger there since probably over a decade.
Their fries, everyone goes about how great their fries are. Even if you say the terrible rest of it, it must be good because the fries are good. And then I actually, I had a friend who said, "No, try a fry. Go on, do it." And I said, "It's like, oh my god, it's pure fucking salt." And another time I bought fries because, it's a deal. You may as well get it. It's just a little bit of extra money, and I was starving. And I bit into it, and they forgot to put the salt on, and it was actual cardboard.
It's just mush. Here's the thing: if you want good American fast food, ask anybody in chat if anybody here has ever been like in the Chicago area.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah,
we're live.
For a long time.
Oh shit!
Culver's is one of the best fast food chains in America. I haven't been disappointed, and Chick-fil-A is also not disappointed me yet. I'll let you know when they do. Those two chains I hold at a high standard. And Five Guys.
I've had Culver's before, and Five Guys. They're pretty good.
Five Guys
is good.
Five Guys really gets you money. They're expensive, but you get your money's worth. Especially if you order fries.
I didn't realize we were live and we're talking about fucking burgers.
Yeah, we should start, I guess.
It's America.
It's America.
Yeah. Burgers
everywhere is America.
I have it on good.
The anime where it's like, I don't want you guys to get out of my country, and it's this like dude with the American flag bandana.
Oh yeah, Ben and Keith. That was I think that was the a bridge series. He's like,
is that what
try to speak? I can't understand you. I can't understand you. Try speaking American. It's the only language I understand.
I want you guys out of my country by tomorrow. And they go, this is Japan. Right. Everywhere belongs to America.
Everywhere belongs. Then where do we go?
I have it on very good authority from an American that the best burger she ever tasted was at Wetherspoons in the UK.
I'm
literal
willing to believe
pub
anything
burger.
when it comes to burgers, because the thing is that every single restaurant that's not a fake chain makes a different burger. So there's a
Excuse
lot
me,
of
Shiny.
good
Did
burgers.
she have a degree in burger tasting? I didn't think so.
Probably.
Okay, therefore her
She had a-
her opinion
She was
is
uneducated.
worthless. Okay.
No, yeah, her opinion was worthless because she didn't go to university to study a useless course.
Yeah, so that's why Mahler's not a good reviewer. Okay, because he has no degree. Yeah, all these TLJ defenses. Yeah, they're fresh in my mind right now. So.
All right, gentlemen, let's get started. And good afternoon, everyone, to Smudcast number 110. We are doing Hello Greedo, real Star Wars fans versus fake Star Wars fans. Oh,
You're
boy.
all fake, by the way. All of you, including this panel, we're all fake fans. We just
Well, I'm definitely a fake fan. I like because my favorite part of Star Wars are the Klingons. Are the best. I really like when the Emperor sends all the birds of prey out to go meet the Cylons.
Fuck, you're a Jedi.
Very, very quickly. Speaking about burger degrees, there's actually a McDonald's University.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, I think we're done talking about burgers for the time being, but we'll get back on topic eventually. Okay, so Hello Greedo. If you guys don't know Hello Greedo, he has a large following on YouTube. He's obviously a Star Wars fan, and he seems to make lots of videos about Star Wars fans. I don't know why. It's I mean, if I was like constantly talking about Mass Effect all day, every day for years and years, and I would bash I don't know why I would do that, but that's pretty much Hello Greedo. So
A bit of background on Hello Greedo. He used to be like a very vehemently hated on. He really hates the prequels. Like he hates them with a passion, and then all of a sudden he turns around. And when it comes to the sequel trilogy, he will defend it like it is amazing, like it is the best shit you could possibly buy. And like at the same time, because fans don't like it, he then turns around and then starts attacking the fans that don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. You're all bad. You need to have the same opinion as him, or else you're bad.
all right, so let's read some super chats, and then we'll get started with the video. White Knight Leo, thank you, sir. The only fake fans of anything are people who didn't like the thing the way it was before they joined the fandom. Is that our definition tonight? I don't know. You see, anytime anyone uses these adjectives or modifiers like fake or true or real or absolute, you're playing the semantic game. You've already lost the argument. You're off on some, I don't know, soapbox whining about something. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, I think when I use the term fake fans, I really mean like people who have a passion for the subject matter and people who don't. People are just hopping onto the bandwagon. Like they like Star Trek or Star Wars because it's popular. But when you ask them anything about it, it's like, I don't know. I'm being oppressed. I'm being gatekept. Hashtag normalize reading the wiki instead of watching the show. That sort of thing. But a fan can have a little bit of knowledge, like the bare minimum knowledge. Maybe they're a new fan, but they can still be a fan because they're very passionate about you can tell that they have a lot of passion about the subject. You can tell they're very passionate about Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever it is, even though their knowledge might not be as extensive as like a longtime fan.
I really don't like to use the term real fans and fake fans because I don't really think I'm the arbiter of who should be like who is and who isn't, because it's not something you can really measure like on any kind of measurement scale. So I always find it's best when talking to these people, because usually you're talking to these people about like a subject matter. I don't know, about the sequel trilogy or this or that or the other, and then certain people will call you a fake fan for liking this sequel trilogy, or they'll call you a fake fan for not liking it, or they'll call you a real fan for liking the sequel trilogy, or the real fan for not liking it, etc., etc. Depends on what side you're on. But I find it a lot better, a lot more. What's the correct good term? I find it more productive to actually talk more about the subject matter than just label someone as this, that, or the other, like as a fake fan or as a real fan. There's a lot more productivity you can do by talking about the subject matter.
Yeah, the only problem I have with fans are the actual fans, meaning the fanboys, the people who defend their opinion without actually looking at the source material or have their own headcanon. I've encountered this for decades. It doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter what franchise, they're going to defend the thing they think they like the way they think it works. And sadly, that's how it works with people with the sequels. They don't see it what it is. They just selectively choose, oh, this is great because I wasn't expecting this, and this is great because it uses the same name I always liked, or whatever argument they have. And as we heard with the previous video, I think the Goldman is pretty much a super fan of the sequels. Like, he just loves them all because they're so in tune with his feelings or whatever. And he has to create headcanon to defend that. That's the stuff I hate. That's the stuff I always attack because there's reason to. There's evidence. There's lots of argument to be made. And hopefully, I haven't gotten back from him this week or today. I messaged him on Twitter. Hopefully, he'll get back to me and he'll have enough time in his schedule. We could have a chat online. That'd be great. Same with Jessie Gender. I also reached out to her again. So hopefully, we'll find out tomorrow if we can get her on Tuesday. But who knows? Always hoping to get other people on to talk about their love of their fandom and to pick apart what they like and dislike. Because they can't. I've never met a fan who's 100% in love with something. There's always something they have problems with, and that's what we'd like to flesh. We want to learn about things you don't like and why.
Well, you've never met what's his name? LitDev. Who is he again? The guy that cried at the trailer.
Oh, Eric. I think his name Eric Butts.
Eric Butts, that's it.
Yeah, that guy. I know his name. I know his last name, but wasn't sure about his first name.
Okay.
Well, his last name's easy to remember. But
all right, we got some super chats.
That guy got lambasted. That guy got lambasted all over the internet.
Very quickly, before you go into super chats, do you know the reason why Hello Greedo is called Hello Greedo?
No.
He used to wear a Greedo mask, and I wish he kind of stick with that because it would be so silly. I think it would be a lot more funnier to see him just in a Greedo mask, like a shitty one.
Hello Greedo. Why are you responding to my video? Well, hello Greedo, you shot first. Okay, so we're just shooting back.
Hey. All right, Rock says Uzi. Today you guys are getting 3 quotes. No, just one. One is fine. You can do one is totally fine. Andrew Clark. Shiny might like Code Geass. I like Code Geass. The setting is what if Great Britain never fell? Okay. And instead took over even more of the world. Light fantasy with mechs. Yeah, it's a lot of strategy. It's a lot of counter maneuvers in mechanized weaponry.
The British Empire, or
all hail Britannia. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I love the politics.
You cut out there. What would you say?
LitDev?
What?
Were you talking to LitDev or me?
No, you cut out when you were talking about it. I asked if it was about the Great British Empire.
Britannia. They take over Europe and they take over the world, so it's pretty much Britannia. Yeah. So.
The Great British Empire never fell, and there's not one plastic straw to be found.
The first galactic empire.
Okay. All a bunch of blonde, blue-eyed people. Yeah, no.
I just want to. I think Palpatine should be elected as a prime minister again. I
vote that Palpatine should be elected queen for life.
Yes.
You go, girl. You slay, queen.
No.
Well, that's what would happen if he went into Rey.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's gross. It's that'd be incest, right?
Would Palpatine technically be transgender if his soul went into Rey?
That's why I'm expecting him to actually have one at the end of the movie. So he's actually Rey now.
Oh no. White Knight Leo, all the Clone Wars is great.
No.
I say that there are great arcs and great episodes, but it's not all great. I will point you to a couple episodes and a couple flaws the shows have.
What are you talking about? Genndy Tartakovsky was brilliant in every single one of the episodes.
That was absolutely incredible. I take it back. Yeah.
Genndy Tartakovsky's awesome.
Put 2D Clone Wars is great. There you go. You're fine. That's so Skaven. WWE Hello Greedo versus Chad Greedo. I don't even know where you're coming with that one, but is that Worldwide Federation of Wrestling, or is that what is that? I don't know. Not sure.
Someone said Hello Greedo is my less intelligent cousin. No, at least I can actually shoot things and hit them.
Oof.
Okay. Bear Business 1. Thank you, sir. This is for surviving Home Alone last week. Thanks for the content. You know what? It wasn't as bad. It was just ridiculous. Okay? It was ridiculous to listen to. It was politically ham-fisted. You just sat there going, no, wrong. So, The all cops are bad comments were just painful. That was just horrible to listen to. But it wasn't as bad as our other videos that we've covered, so that's okay. It wasn't as insane as a Maggie May, and it wasn't as ridiculous as well, actually no, it was pretty ridiculous. So anyway, that's O'Skaven. Bring on Clone Boy's girlfriend Maggie May Fish. What?
What
the hell? What does that mean?
I hope you don't mean me. I mean, I have standards.
What does that mean? Bring on Clone Boy's girlfriend, Maggie May Fish? Who is the Clone Boy? What are you talking about?
The only person I can think would be is me. But
Little Clone Boy.
I don't even want to translate that. What's going on?
Here's the thing. I really like Five Guys. And
It's sloppy and it's juicy and it gets,
everywhere.
It does get everywhere, doesn't it?
Just like your mom, dude. Whoa.
Morty.
Oh, there's a lot of super chats coming in.
I don't know why. You entered the room, boys. They want to give you money.
They're getting money.
They're telling me to pay you.
Read.
At this point, I think it's a game to see how long they can prevent us from beginning the video.
Keep spamming like $1 super chats over and over again
Oh,
to force you to keep reading it out.
Stripper or something.
You should really save these till the end. I think you're
Keep
getting
getting
to the
away with
stage. You're getting to the stage where you need to sort of save the super chats for the end.
Now, let's see how long we can keep
Sooner or
going
later,
before
you'll
you.
have to have a whole video dedicated to just answering super chats from the other video.
What is this,
I'll say
Mahler? What
Snapchat.
is this? What are you talking about? This is not
kind of
EFAP. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
let's go ahead and answer them before we begin, just to see how long it takes before we actually begin. It'll be interesting.
I think people pay to have their message read out at the time, and if we read them out too late, we're going to lose the context.
Yeah, you see, this channel and the size of the audience is just right to get a sentence and conversation going from a super chat, and then to keep going, as opposed to, like, you watch Mahler, there's thousands of people watching. There's no way they could respond to everything, so this is just
Nice and
right.
cozy over here on the Smudcast. Nice
Exactly.
and cozy.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Rock and Zuzi, here we go.
Right.
Numero uno. Thank you, sir. First quote, I'm on the verge of losing everything I ever cared about. I can't let that happen. Tell me what I need to do. Zion. Who is the best girl? Zion is a female name? Really? What is...
Okay.
Is it one of those crazy anime girl designs where they're like... What is it? Not really male, not really female, but they have a really female
When
voice?
isn't it?
Is it Bishonen? I mean, the guy who looks like a girl, that sort of thing?
Yeah. In girl in name only? Or, no, I don't know. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts. And we got more. Joe. Okay, Joe, we already have 3 coming from Rox's. We don't need any more. Okay? Kingdom Hearts quota's filled. But, here we go.
Kingdom Hearts.
Once I get rid of you, the darkness will go away. Cloud. Oh, that sounds like Cloud. I'm getting back in the swing of things. Yeah, Cloud.
This is terrible.
This is painful.
Terrible writing.
This is disgusting. This is all the things I don't want in life in a super
Taking
chat.
back my weebery. Never be a weeb again.
No. Let's go back
I
to
never
Final,
weeped again.
go back to the 90s where it was actually good games and it wasn't so bad to like Japanese things. Oh.
That's a good meme, Shiny.
White Knight Leo.
Shut the fuck up.
Episode 109 video was so awful I couldn't watch. I totally understand. I could appreciate, people not watching the stream. Those videos from Renegade are so strange.
Renegade is pretty
Sometime-
infuriating.
You're not a
Sometimes the
real
video
fan. You
is-
know what? You don't listen to all the streams. You're not a real fan. Get out of the
Yeah.
way.
Sometimes a video is just so retarded that even a seasoned veteran of the Smudcast cannot comprehend its terrible-
Self-proclaimed seasoned veteran.
Like he spouts all these weird, like racist, sexist, all kinds of weird, bigoted nonsense in such a smug tone, thinking he's on the righteous path. Like, okay, sure, okay.
He says so much stuff you'd think I'd like it, but even I'm getting sick of it.
That's like a less enthusiastic version of Movie Bob. It's like he says so many things in a long amount of time, and then I realize what he's saying, and I go, "Oh, that's not cool."
Oh no, it's a meme, but he's not in on the joke.
Okay. Jake the Surgeon Greedo is a guy who gets pegged and apologizes. I don't know too much about S&M, but I guess that's proper. You're supposed to be.
Proper etiquette.
Yeah, I think. No, I have no idea.
How dare you, sir? That was very rude.
The Puerto Rican dream. All right. Can we get back on topic and talk about the best burger joints in America or in Canada? There's like thousands or hundreds at least across America. That's the.
Yeah, that's what Hello Greedo's video is about. Fake burger fans versus real burger fans.
Oh.
Oh, that'd be great. Fake burger fans, they love Burger King. They didn't even really care about the quality. Real burger fans, we like the real homegrown, grass-fed. You know what I mean? None of this fake stuff.
You have to understand that this year there's probably no what's the word? Not penetration, but the amalgamation from American commerce to Canadian. So we only get a few chains, like we get Five Guys, but we don't get like Sonic or Whataburger or all these other really great like In-N-Out Burger. We don't get those up in Canada.
You have Five Guys. I mean, Five Guys is probably the best.
Yeah.
Out of most of them, I think.
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
I've got a question.
French fries are all right.
What if there was only 4 guys?
Then it wouldn't be 5.
You need 5.
But
It
it
would
would
be
be
so
of the
Quinn
same
then.
quality if it was 4 guys.
And they need to be guys. That's why they're so good, because it's all men behind the table.
It's all 5 girls would be out of business by now.
Where does it say that women can't be employed at Five Guys?
Oh, it just means
In the name Five
you
Guys.
know
In the name Boy
women
Scouts. I mean, Five
drivers
Guys.
You know how women drivers are. They can't do a drive-through. Come on.
Yeah, I got an idea for a restaurant name. 4 Guys and a Mary Sue.
Why do the other guys need to show up? Just have the Mary Sue there. She does
Yeah.
everything.
They're there to make her look good.
Well, you
Oh, yeah.
you need waiters.
You need guys to
No,
make
that's
sure that
right.
the customers know that she's awesome.
Yes. She can levitate and flip burgers with her mind. It's great.
They fly now?
And she doesn't put
Everybody
too much
knows.
salt on the fries.
Everybody knows that the real Mary Sue is SpongeBob because he's just so good in the kitchen. It's not even possible.
If a Mary Sue puts too much salt on fries, they'd be perfect. Still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is Mikey Guzzler. I hope I pronounced that correct. Hail Zack Snyder. Okay. Hail, Zack Snyder, we hail you.
I mean, we'll
No,
hail
fuck
him. I'll hail him a cab to get out of here.
Get out of here. Get.
You ruined Batman.
All right, Zofritz. Thank you, Zofritz. It's always nice to get some Donkey Kong coins. Before we begin, can you discuss Xmas versus Halloween again?
Christmas is better.
Yeah,
I'm on the Christmas side. I can't go back on what I said, and I wouldn't.
Halloween is obviously better. Just objectively.
Well, LitDev is obviously a fake Smudcast member.
He's a fake Christmas fan. Can't trust him.
If they were handing out Lindt chocolates like they do it in Christmas at Halloween, then I might have something to be like, all right,
You can have
yeah,
whatever
what it
candy
is.
you want on Halloween.
I can't think of a more. I can't think of a holiday that's been more commercially ruined than Halloween.
Yeah.
You mean like Christmas?
Christmas is the close second.
We have emergency Christmas if we're in debt. That's why we have emergency Christmas. Like that's why Christmas starts in like January over here in the United States.
The only thing I appreciate about Halloween is Thanksgiving is coming up soon, so that you get your turkey eventually. It just takes the extra month to get what
Look,
you
Halloween
actually...
is Halloween is a more deviant version of Christmas. That's why it's better.
If you find coal in your stocking, it's not because you were a bad boy or girl. It's because LitDev stole your
It's 'cause I stole your happiness. I literally stole your happiness. Those gifts, they're made out of happiness. You know that, right?
Exactly.
Santa Claus has Christmas cheer and magic. That's what gives him his magic. It's happiness. And he turns happiness into presents. I steal your happiness and leave you coal. That's what happens.
So you can burn in hell. More
Yeah.
Here is White Knight Leo. Gate and Tanya the Evil are fantastic anime. Gate is kind of like a reverse isekai, I think, where they...
I heard of Tanya the Evil.
Really?
Is it good?
I don't know Tanya the Evil, but Gate is where they send like military troops to the magical place, or in reverse. So the guys with guns and tanks,
Yeah,
like
I
holy
watched that.
shit. So that's kind of cool. But they also have the fantastical elements as well. So like the lowly goth 500, 700-year-old or whatever. With a
the
scythe.
Gothic priestess.
The Gothic priest, yeah, this crazy character who can just blows away people. And you're like, what the hell?
I like how anime is like alive and creative and has all these like different ideas and stuff, and then you look over at Western animation, it's just beating a dead horse. Like, come on, give me another Family Guy joke.
Or
I
need
a reference.
Let's do some pastel colored, soft young adult fiction for trans boys and girls. Like, okay, that sounds fun. Whereas Japan's like, we have like all of that already, like 30 years ago. Trans, lesbian, yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, so I don't know Tanya the Eel, but I did read Gate, and I know Gate was an anime, so it's actually kind of cool. But there's so many, so you really have to pick and choose what you like. Anyway, back to Super. Holy, what is?
You got some really big super chats.
What is going on, guys? We had like 5. Slow down, please.
The game never ends.
Jeez, Jake the Surgeon again.
The game continues.
Yes, Hello Greedo is the beta equivalent of Shiny. Wait a second. Hey, don't insult people up here, okay?
No, you know what he is? It's like so you've got the clone, and it's made from the perfect, like, best soldier in the world and all that stuff. And then you got a stormtrooper who's just some guy that they picked up off.
That is recruited.
He's like, hey, Jeff, look, we need you to get in some armor and then run at the enemy. Just you don't even need to hit anything. Just really sprint in there.
All the clones are
totally
basically
loyal.
They've made the entire
massive
clone army basically out of clones of Solid Snake of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
basically. And I'm pretty sure that somebody was thinking about the other person's idea there. There has to be.
But yeah, clones can actually hit their shit.
It's true.
That's the
As
one.
we saw confirmed the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers actually can't hit anything.
This is this is the retcon I do appreciate from the Clone Wars, that they actually make training like, oh, they shoot and kill things. That's true. Yes, they do. So as opposed to the movies where it's like, this is ridiculous.
Wouldn't miss. They'd kick her ass.
Maybe that's why Obi-Wan Kenobi was like, "Oh, you remember the stormtroopers? You remember the clone troopers, not the stormtroopers exactly?" Because he was been hiding on that planet for like 30 years.
Yeah.
So he thinks that the clone troopers and the Imperial stormtroopers are the same thing, but they're not.
Only clone troopers are so precise.
Yeah, he thought they were the same
Only
thing.
Imperial clone troopers are so precise.
Well, technically, isn't the 501st the one which attacked the Jawas?
I think they mean pure. Yeah.
Well, the 501st is the one which attacked the Jawas, and they're clones.
Yeah, the 501st remain pure, they said, at least in that one Battlefront game.
In Legends, it was that the clones remained in service, mostly in the 501st, and they didn't age like twice as fast. But in canon, they aged twice as fast. in my head,
Metal
canon.
Gear.
Metal Gear.
All
So what
right.
you tried to do there? You tried to copy Star Wars, didn't you?
Otacon.
Okay, Rox Suzuki, here's your second Kingdom Hearts quote, and I am counting because you're driving me insane. No, Zion, a real girl, and the next quote, it from Black Clover. Oh, different anime. Yeah, now you're messing me up now. What are you doing? What do you... All right, okay, fine. I always hated the fact that I was never blessed with any magic, but in place of that, I was blessed with wonderful teammates. Oh... Thank you, Asta. That's so cute.
Maybe the real magic was the friends we met along the way.
Oh no! Oh God! That's the one thing.
No, that's not magic. Look at this. And then the guy just like pulls a rabbit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Friends are like the sun.
Oh, that's the thing about anime.
I see them during the daytime. Whee!
The one theme in anime, the most popular anime, is about this community, friendship, group feeling. Every minor theme in anime is about that I can think of.
It's because the Japanese.
It's an Asian
They're
influence.
easily started, but they return, and in greater numbers.
It's a communist influence. Yeah, okay, I don't know. It's one of those communal opinions about stronger together, being friendly, having supportive friends. There's nothing wrong with this theme. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just so repetitive. Like, what if there's this guy, it's like, you all suck, okay? I am so much better than you. I'm going to prove it. And he proves it at the end of the story. It's like, yes, do your things on your own merits, people.
I'd like that idea, actually. It can't be played by Steven Seagal, because that would ruin it.
Oh, can you imagine a Steven Seagal anime? That'd be ridiculous. Uncle Steven running around in his
Yeah.
Oh,
The yin and yang is like black and white, you know, and I'm just like both of those things at once, man. I'm like mixed, yin and yang, yang, you know what I mean? When I go up, it goes down, you know what I mean?
oh God. I think he did what was his latest video or series of videos? He was teaching cops how to do whatever martial art he knows. It was,
I remember that.
it was too like, what the hell am I? He's trying to get like philosophical with these guys like who are cops. It's like, what? What are you doing?
You know, dealing with criminals is like dealing with a force, but you're the other force. So you gotta, you know, step out of the way of that force and be the overforce. Put yourself in that position spiritually in that moment.
All right. Here's White Knight Leo. Thank you again, sir. Christopher Lee. If you don't know who Christopher Lee is, he is our resident Sith Lord. Made a heavy metal album at age 91, and then he died. Yes. So that's amazing. I mean, that's if you can do heavy metal or metal in general, that's amazing. And to put your heart into it and to die right soon after is amazing. So, yeah. No, I do have a friend of mine who's a metal musician, and he appreciates all kinds of music. And for anyone to do that.
There's some extremely complex symphonic metal and like orchestral level work that's put into making some metal stuff. And the way that I look at it, because I study a little bit of music, is that it's interesting when you can translate a melody and a harmony or whatever from one genre over to another genre, and it still works. And if you take a lot of metal songs and convert them into like orchestra songs, they sound like symphonies, and some of them, you know what I mean? So it's pretty awesome. And I also think it's cool that metal music you can take like dance music or synthwave and turn them into metal tracks, and it adds like a very specific edgy flavor to it. So like, I haven't met very many dumb metalheads, to be honest.
No, they're actually very intelligent. The guy that I know, he used to teach music, and then he got fired because of the virus this year. But he respects every kind of music out there. He understands it. He listens. It's really cool to have this guy talk about something he knows so well. It goes with anything, really. If you're into filmmaking or comic books, you know, a guy who knows the stuff and knows people behind the scenes, it's really a great insight into the world of music or media. But yeah, Christopher Lee, bravo, sir. Mark in 3D, thanks, Smud, for getting Orson Welles on stream. What?
I'm a charlatan.
Was he talking about hamburgers? What was he talking about?
Well, that explains the hamburger talk. It's Orson Welles' spirit. The French champagne.
Oh.
Aha! The French champagne.
Trying to think of his roasts back on TV. But anyway. Mikey Guzzler again. Thank you, sir. LitDev wanted to let you know that Snyder said back in 2013 that Superman will go through an arc that will lead him to be the Supes we all know. Really? That's
if only different. He did that. That would have been cool.
That would have been amazing. From scared boy to, you know, distant young man to angry, furious killer to...
maybe I missed it. There's one thing that was really a big problem in BVS. People kept bringing up the fact that, he inspired Batman to get better, which he did a little. He inspired Batman to get better, but there's one other thing that happened in BVS, which was the whole thing where he says Superman is fake. It's a dream of my dad. And then there was never a rectification of that. There's never something that reversed that mentality. So it goes on that he says that Superman is just a dream. He's just doing it for his dad's sake. And then Lois is like, yeah, but that lie is what gives people hope. So stop, man up, and continue that lie. And then he could, from as far as I've seen, there's nothing that changes that perception that Superman is a lie, and that his heroic persona is fake, and that he is just continuing a lie, and that if they never rectify that, if they never switch it around, which I don't think they do, not specifically, then Lois is right. Batman gets better because of the lie of Superman, which doesn't really count in my eyes.
Oh my god! I went to go fix a drink. We're still here.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's the game. They're playing the game.
Haven't started yet.
There's still super chats to go over.
I don't blame chat, but I do apologize on behalf of them.
Stop being simps, or I'm going to bludgeon you to death with the blunt end of an axe, chat.
You realize that
Smud's
voice
already made like, what was it, like £200 off this or
well,
dollars? Sorry.
we're gonna get Kingdom Hearts for voice to play. We just don't know what version is compatible with this game system. So
Anything PS4.
yeah. So if anyone could recommend a Kingdom Hearts game for the PS4, we're gonna get it for voice. That'd be great with all this super chat cash. So
I'd rather play The Last of Us 2, but sure, I'll stream Kingdom Hearts first.
I don't know, sir. You might be changing your mind.
We'll see.
Come on, voice, you should be playing Squadrons with me.
I'll have to figure. I can do that easily. We'll live stream that sometime, happily.
The first Kingdom Hearts is probably the simplest and the cleanest.
Yes, I agree.
Like, I don't like the story of The Last of Us 2, but I prefer the combat in The Last of Us.
Yes, the gameplay is excellent.
Just
Yes.
to be honest.
Yes.
As much
all
as
right.
I hate Abby, her gameplay is really, really good.
Yes. The gameplay looks great. And
Let's
she
just get through
punches
the
like a
super
boss.
chats. Everyone else, shut the fuck up. We'll get to the super chats, then we get to the video.
All right.
No one talk.
King
And
Jared.
then we
the-
never did.
Star Wars, beautiful Star Wars.
We're gonna have to do like a part 2 of this episode because the part 1 is just super chats. The part 2 is playing the video.
This time it's the real stream.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, I might
disable
get-
super chats next time. Okay.
I might get 1.5 and 2.5 of Kingdom Hearts.
That's an actual thing, guys. They
This
sold
is
it as a pack because there's DLC, and instead of calling it 1 and 2 plus DLC, it's 1.5 and 2.5.
That's
Which is-
dumb.
Fucking
is-
retarded.
That is so silly. I mean, it's not even the version of software. They just literally call it 1.5. It's just
They might as well have just like added both numbers together and just said Kingdom Hearts 5.
Makes just as much sense.
Wait, that's not 2.5 plus 1.5 isn't 5. Never
no, it's
mind.
not. No.
But it makes sense if you use your feelings.
In Kingdom Hearts land, it makes perfect sense actually. So that's okay.
God damn, I'm terrible at math. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, super chats. Here's the big one. King Jared, the Lion of House Goodborn. Hello, sir. And you got a lion. I like that.
Good
I do
name.
appreciate the name association. Works well. Hello, Smud Boy, Satan, Shiny Little Trooper. Hope you remember me. No idea who you are, sir. Shiny? Anyone? Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
is that the guy that gave you $100?
that's the guy.
I think that's John Lemley.
No, John Lemley. Voice and suppose Glib as well. This is my first time super chatting. Thank you, sir. We appreciate
suppose.
it.
Well,
I've been
thanks.
Oh,
Hey, well, at least you weren't called Little Trooper.
Thanks, Glib, I guess. I mean,
I
you-
guess.
you exist.
Glib is indeed a thing, and he is here. This is my
I think Glib only exists if you perceive him as something that exists.
oh.
In the margins of reality, in between thought and action.
I'm pretty sure Glib's existence is subjective because everything is subjective.
Oh,
It's a
right.
myth.
It's all a social construct. That's right. Okay.
It's the hero's myth, according to Witten Folly.
Heroes myth.
What if it was Glyph was actually a female or characterized as such? Okay, this is my first time super chatting. I've been a big fan of the podcast ever since it began and have many criticisms for you. Oh, this is the best super chat. I love criticisms. This is what we do, sir. Thank you.
Actually, I have it on good authority that if you have criticisms, then you're not a real fan. Okay.
That's harassment. dude. You
That's
can't just
harassment.
criticize us. What? We're not perfect? What are you kidding me?
So that's great. Whatever you want to do, join the Discord, talk with us in all kinds of channels on the Discord. We'd be happy to listen to all the criticisms. No, this is great.
Did
I
you
love.
say Jizzcord?
No.
The Jizzcord of Dick Society?
What?
Hashtag Dick Society.
Don't rename
Well, obviously I did. Now
now.
that you mention it, the wonders of Dick Society. Oh God. Yes, the simp in all of us. Oh. Okay. Enough of that TED talk. To be continued. The next super chat. No, you're good. No more super chats. You're good. This was great. Go in the Discord. Leave some criticism there. No more super chats. Dr. Crow, I hate you. You're just taunting me now. Shut up, sir. I'm going to put you in timeout. You're going to be put on timeout, and Glib's going to do it.
I specifically left Monster Hunter thinking I could come and get involved with this. I thought I didn't have time for another 30-minute hunt, but it turns out I did.
Yeah, you did.
I'm playing Red Dead right now.
What is this?
I gave up the Talis for you guys.
Hey, voice. While we wait, George played like what was it?
I think
Empire
we're ready.
at War.
No,
Like,
no, we're
just
doing
while we wait,
Smudcast.
Empire
Damn it!
at War.
Stop it. Jeez.
We have a few more to go through.
Chat, join my game. I'm playing Unreal Tournament. 32 players.
Okay, Adam Wilford. In Gates, okay, right, that's an anime. Roy Mercury, that's her name, is the one, the giant battle axe, and is over 900 years old. There's a rumor that there might be a season 3 or 4 of Gates. Okay.
Don't care.
You gotta appreciate those 900-year-old goth lolies, so, with the giant battle axes. Japan knows what they're
that's
doing.
funny.
Joe Crazy, oh my goodness. Kingdom Hearts is like darkness. It's always there. Had to channel my inner Nomura for that one. Oh dear. So many anime references, so many super chats. What am I going to do with you guys? All right, here's King Jared again, the line of House Goodburn again. Anyways, from now, I've got a very important question for LitDev. You said that Hannibal Rising is bad. Would agree with you on the movie, but is the novel worth my money? I've still haven't picked up my order. Okay, there's a great question.
Oh, this movie been a long time ago. They haven't talked about Hannibal Rising in a long time. But I guess it depends on a certain point of view, I guess. Because Thomas Harris is the kind of guy who would spend like a decade of writing one book just to make sure it's right and actually living out things. I mean, he's ridiculous when he goes into preparation for writing a book. But Hannibal Rising, I think, was contractually obligated. Like they forced him to write it. So I have a hard copy of it. In fact, like a hardcover copy of it. So I love the series so much. But comparatively, no, not really. Not the movie, not the book. It's really strange. It's like it feels like he was, it was pumped out for corporatism or something. But it is technically canon. So you want to read the canonical development of Hannibal Lecter, you can. It's just strange, and I wouldn't. But I mean, that's me. If you want to read it, go ahead. It's still written by the same guy. Still the same ideas. It's not like the worst thing in the world. So the movie, book, same. I can put them on the same level. So I do have the movie. I do have the book, and I do enjoy them. They're just not really as good as like Red Dragon or Silence of the Lambs or Hannibal.
And that's the book and the movie versions of those parts, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with that series. I do know that some of my reader friends liked them, and some of them didn't like them. So it's a mixed bag. Okay, Rox's
fucking EFAP at this point, taking forever to actually cover the bloody video.
I'm gonna change the title of this to like just super chat Smudcast 110 say shit and reply. That's all it's gonna be.
No. Call this Smudcast 1.5, and then you call the other one 2.5.
Why?
God, Kingdom Hearts way.
Oh god, I hate you already.
The way that makes no sense.
Oh. We're being destroyed by Kingdom Hearts, guys. This is not good. Okay. Rox Suzuzi, third quote. Oh, the third quote. You're counting. Thank you. Is from Nier Automata. Okay, this is nice. You're not just doing Kingdom Hearts. You're breaking it apart. I like this. There's an important lesson here.
Something that's not Japanese.
Well, no, Nier Automata is pretty cool. I gotta admit. From what I've seen, the philosophy involved and the ideas, the gameplay, really cool. It really does a little bit.
All I know is 2 booty. That's all I know.
2B, not 2B.
Oh, I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I've never played it.
Yes, thank you, Glib. Always with the quick response there. Okay. The more of a fool people take you for, the more you'll learn of their true nature. Is that from 2B or is that from A1 or A2? What's the other guy's name? I don't know. I wish I knew all the names.
We spent almost an hour, almost 50 minutes just reading through super chats.
Jesus.
It's a good sign.
A good sign of driving me nuts. We haven't even started the video.
It really does. It really does annoy him.
Yeah, I want to watch the video.
They're trying to stop us from watching the video.
Enough money,
I
you
sent
guys.
the
I'm trying to
plot
watch
destroy the Smudcast.
enough money, you guys. I'm trying to watch a
I
terrible video.
wanted to have a game night. I wanted to have a game night right after
This is
this.
game night. This is a game. This is a game.
This is not a game. I'm not having fun. This is stupid.
This party's
Then
over.
why do you keep reading them?
Because they're paying me. I have to.
You have to. You have to. Yeah, you have to.
He's contractually obliged.
Oh my god.
All right.
Jake the Surgeon. I wish I got a drink for this. My god. I am many things, Kal-El, but here I am God. Darkseid from Superman the Animated Series. More
Dark side.
side or seed? Is it side?
Side.
Oh, I'm
Dark
sorry.
side.
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 It's pronounced side, yeah.
It's a really weird spelling.
All right. Dark side.
Dark seed.
S-E-I-D
spelling.
is seed. I know
It's
my
kind of a
God.
90s spelling. So like in the 90s, they kind of misspelled things, so they look cooler,
Oh.
more extreme.
Is that like
Dark side seed.
is that like your weird little brother who's not really friendly with everyone and started spelling names differently? Oh, whatever. More poignant than anything Snyder would produce. Well, again, those shows in the 90s were great, and they're watered down cartoon versions of the comic, which is like a very stylized version of what we got in the comic books. So it's for kids, it's consumable, it's great. And I do remember a lot of those cartoons because they were cool. So I don't know, were they the 90s or the 2000s? When was that? Anyway, doesn't matter. Joe Crazy, again, you forgot about Kingdom Hearts 2.8? Really? Final chapter prologue. Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. Come on. That can't be a thing. I'm going to search that. Right, that pisses me off. Right.
Well, I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Let's put this into
All right, what's the next
Google.
one? Someone
It is a thing. I can't believe it. Are you serious? 90%.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's the title? That is a title with a subtitle and a freaking decimal value.
Should we just have like, I don't know, Smudcast where we just sit and talk for a while, not actually
No.
covering any videos?
2.8 isn't the it's the rating. It's not the
90% of the people who liked this, who played this, liked it. I can't believe this.
Yeah. Kingdom
Well,
Hearts
you just-
fans are weird.
You just don't understand the deep themes at play here.
Have you seen
No, I don't.
Kingdom Hearts Pi? It's not I know pi, but it's like 3.14.
I have absolutely no plans to play a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah.
Play the first one, and
I
maybe
don't-
the
I don't
second
care.
one.
I don't like.
And then
the
you're
I
done.
don't like the idea. It's boring to me.
Just the pretentiousness of a subtitle, but just to have. I hope that's DLC and then like extra DLC they forgot to package and they call it 2.8 because they're stupid. I hope. Because no way in hell would any game designer or developer go, you know what we need to call this? The 2 is like it's too it's too whole. It's too wholesome. We need like a fraction in there. But fractions are too like nomenclature heavy, so we want like a decimal value. Like, well, no, you're crazy. Stop it.
2.A.
That would be fine. It would still be pretentious, but fine. Rox Uzi. All the Kingdom Hearts games are available on the PS4. Really? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we'll get you number one, the safest. All right. And no 1.5 to 2.5. It's simply a collection of all the games up until Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay, we'll get you the package deal. That'll work. Sure. If it works on PS4.
I think we can all agree that crossovers which are set like canonically in like completely different worlds and universes, yeah, they're all shit. Don't cross over two things which are not supposed to do not cross the streams.
I generally agree with that sentiment, but there are some that do work. So I'm not against the idea. Like Nocturne and Devil May Cry was a great idea.
I like the idea of Marvel versus Capcom,
Yes.
stuff like that, but it's such a gimmicky thing to do a crossover.
But that's an arcade game, you see, so you can get away with silly things like that.
Best, what's a really good idea for a comic? Let's take Alien and Terminator. Let's take Alien versus Predator. Let's take Alien versus fucking Batman.
That sounds cool.
What?
I want to see the guy fight the other guy.
I want to see Batman fight xenomorphs.
I want to see him
Wait.
punch the xenomorph in the mouths.
Remember that corny video someone made
Punch it in its mini mouth.
of
In
Darth
both
Vader?
mouths.
It was Darth Vader versus Batman. Remember that, Shiny?
I don't remember a comic, but I remember fans making a Darth Vader versus
a
Batman
fan video,
like a full cinematic thing where they had actual people dressed in costumes and sets and everything. They filmed it, had like visual effects. It was pretty cool.
See, that only a fan would come up with that idea and go through with it. So,
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's kind of stupid. Like, to an extent, it is kind of interesting. It's like, well, the reason why Batman can stand up to him is because Batman planned it out. You see, he broke his life support with an EMP, so that way he has to use the Force to sustain himself, so he can't use his Force powers. Like, where is that something Batman would do? It's like, oh, okay, I like that. I like this detail. It's still dumb, but I like the detail.
Exactly. See, it's fun, and people who are fans, not true fans, they're just fans. They like the idea.
Oh no. They're fake fans.
Why did Batman just shoot him?
True fans don't play 2.8. They play 2.5 with the graphics mod. Okay?
Very, very true there. Glib, yep. That's the people you get to play New Vegas. They have those very, very specific builds of what mods to install and what mods not to install. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Ever gents. Thank you, sir. Apparently they really want Hope to be like the sun in Star Wars so much it was even the moral in Squadrons. Really? Are you serious?
Okay, so I don't know if he was watching my stream at the time, but even in Squadrons, they really put the quote in. They put the quote, Leia said, at the end of the Rebels ending, Leia actually says, if you... Hope is like the sun. If you don't wait to see it, I've forgotten the quote, but Leia says it in the ending of Squadrons.
Wow, whoever wrote that line was really, really, really proud of it.
Like, why the fuck would you put that in Squadrons? It was not well received. The gameplay in Squadrons is alright, and it's even fun in VR. Like, honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. But the story and the characters, they are so fucking shit. Hey, I just met you. How about I spout my entire fucking life story in like 5 seconds?
I just met you. This is crazy. But here's my life story.
Call me a wingman.
Like, the moment you meet someone, they just start spouting off their life story.
So they have like Anakin Skywalker syndrome. Hi, we've met after 20 years. He's overly critical. He hates me. He hates everything I do.
But
never listens.
Things is like,
cheers to the prequels. I love the prequels.
My parents build TIE fighters. I'm not proud of it. Now all I do is destroy them. And then it's like another one is
my parents voted Trump. Now I
have to fight against the Empire.
Exactly.
And another one is all my friends deserted. I had to kill them all. And it's like this really small lady with like the same old haircut. You kill deserters, put them out their misery.
Like, then you meet Admiral Boldo, who has green hair.
This planet is not vegan. We have to liberate all the animals.
All right, we must keep going. King Jared, the Lion of House Goodborn again. Thank you, sir. Also, Shiny, Theo Teatree. Is that his full moniker? I thought it was just Theo. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's Theo. Yeah.
Okay, he said that Clone Wars is garbage, so if the debate between him and Anna happens, will you go on EFAP for the debate if asked? I actually asked Theo in the Jedi Council. He hasn't gotten back to me. I doubt he will, but I'll try again. I don't know if we can get Shiny on there. I'll try that as well. But I would
Is there going to be a debate?
But if asked, would you go on Shiny?
If asked, yeah, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I'll try.
Really? It's a lot. The more people there are, the higher the scrutiny. So watch out.
Right. So I would.
I know. If I did have to go there, like I'm expecting a lot of backlash because I already seen what happened to Glib.
No, nothing. You never get backlash for being on an EFAP debate. What are you talking
about?
Never. You never get like. I remember when you fucking went on the
sticks
EFAP
with you
debate,
for months.
My DMs were full. Like how? What the fuck? I wasn't even watching the damn thing. I had people messaging me on Steam. It's like, hey, like, Glib is saying some things which I really don't agree with. It's like, fuck off, please.
Not my problem. I mean, I'm not Glib's keeper.
See if I can find the DM very quickly. I think here
it is. I liked that episode. I had a lot of fun watching it.
I have to say that I've had a good there have been people that would be like in my DMs asking me questions, but most people. To give the EFAP audience credit, were either asking me to clarify something, or they were saying, look, I like what you're saying, but the way that you're saying needs to work on it. Somebody said that they were like some kind of coach that could help deal with like emotions or something for like broadcasting. I don't know, all sorts of things. But I don't get people in my DMs like that. I think that they just detect that I don't care about shit like that. If somebody wants to make criticism, that's great. I actually like.
Well, then why didn't the fuck they ask you? Why did they come to me?
I have no
What do I have to do with it?
You're the reasonable one, Shiny.
That's weird because it didn't even come to me. I took no heat from that for some reason. But I guess China took all the heat for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I took all the heat for Sitch. A lot of people that were blaming me for saying things that Sitch said, and then later when Southpaw was on, there was a Reddit post on Mahler's subreddit that was like, what do we think about Glib? And then he was on this recent thing talking about this, and I was like, what are you talking about? And it was what Southpaw was saying. So sometimes people have criticism for you. They don't even know who you are.
But yeah, they did. I look at the comments, and yeah, I mean, they just blamed you for everything.
That's great.
I fucking hate Glib. He ruins my day every day.
Here's the thing. I hate Glib. He embarrasses me every day.
Oh, it's so bad. It's the second lowest rated EFAP. It's horrible. It just feels terrible in my ego.
Another thing is that, like, so the other day when the debate was going on, I like walked away from my computer for a little bit, just a short amount of time, and then I was showing another student here, a mate of mine, like some VR games, and I was sitting down, and all I heard was that "da-dun" from Discord.
From Discord, yeah.
Da-dun, 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 da-dun. It's over and over again. What the fuck is happening? And then it's like, I look at it, it's like very Joker. Look, have you seen what's happening on EFAP? Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Looks over at Mahler's Discord, there's 5 notifications, like, oh, Shiny, get Shiny involved. What the fuck? Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And then it's another thing in Smudcast's Discord as well. It's like, what the fuck?
My advice to anybody...
This is why I'm happy people don't like me, because that way they don't bother me.
I guess I'm like, I didn't get any of that. I saw it from Smudboard, the Smudcast. That's about it. What's going on? What's going on here?
If anybody's going to be on EFAP or any of these shows, and I don't mean this one because we have Best Chat, obviously, and it's not really like that, but I would suggest if you're in a debate, don't pay attention to what Chad is saying, because then you'll split your focus. You need to just focus on...
Speaking of Chad, they're glad we wasted an hour already.
Well, I don't know.
They're cheering in chat.
We still have more super chats to go through.
Yeah,
That's a sign of quality, you guys. That's a real good. I take that as a compliment. If they're more interested in throwing money at us, so we don't watch the video, I think we can probably retire now.
How bad is this video? It can't be that bad.
Smudcast interviews the fans or something like that. Smudcast fan stream.
I guess I'm gonna have to rename this video because we haven't started it yet. So I don't know.
I'm ready. I'm in it to win it. We can do this. I really as soon as you guys posted this video, I was interested because I love hearing Hello Greedo talk down to other fans. It's so good.
So here's I wanted to show this fan art because this has happened while the chat has been going on. Someone drew this, and it's for LiteratureDevil.
Yeah, Wolvie's good. Wolvie did Rags. He also did Fringy. My favorite one was Fringy because you could see the plague mask through the.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing all of them.
So if you don't know, this is pretty much a character from I think Among Us, but with LitDev as the devil, and he has a bloody satanic Bible. I don't know what that's about, but okay.
What's this image?
It's LitDev.
It's Among Us.
Oh, okay. I wasn't actually looking at the stream.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
Let's get back.
Yeah, LitDev is among us now.
Here's Toasty Danny. Glory to mankind. Okay. What's that about? I have no idea.
We just put a rule that anything that's not over $5 worth of super chat we save to the end.
I'm okay with any.
I'm not going to remember.
With saving it to the end.
You have to do it now.
You have to do it now.
As soon as you see it. Come on.
Here's Adam Woodford again. LiteratureDevil, what writing program did you use when writing your book, and is the same as Critical Drinker? That's a curious question. What writing program do you use?
I don't know what writing program does Critical Drinker use? I use for Dr. Alpha. I use just Microsoft Word.
I keep saying you're playing Nimble Writer or something.
I've been messing with Nimble Writer recently, but I wrote Dr. Alpha on Microsoft Word.
You could
if you want to know what I write my scripts on, I write it on Google Docs.
I write everything on Microsoft Word except for that one story I'm writing on Nimble Writer, which is the Lady Midnight script.
Definitely, always.
I'm in love with. Go on.
use Google Docs, use Google Sheets, use every cloud service you've got, because that way you could write on your phone, you could write on your laptop, you could write at someone else's house. It's great.
Yeah, that's the best part of like Google Docs. So I used to use it for my college work. So back when I was at college, I had to work at home and I had to work at the college itself. So I'll just do work at college, I get home, don't have to have a fucking memory stick. It's all just very easy to use. And then I just continued writing it for my scripts. And then I just, when my computer was down, I just sat down with my iPad. It's like, okay, easy to do.
I like using this thing called Focuswriter, and I also use something called Ghostwriter, which are just like really simple markdown programs.
Which is a program where the guy writes everything for you? That sounds good.
No, it looks like a terminal. So, because I like writing in a dark environment, and Word just blinds me. I don't know if it's different now. I think they have a night mode. Finally,
There is
you have to pay for Word.
There is a dark
I don't
theme you
wanna
could
pay
install
for it.
though. I've installed a dark plugin for Google Word or Google whatever it's called, Google Docs. Sorry.
that sounds.
I really like Microsoft Word. I trust the program. I've used it for years and years and years. Years.
Yeah.
Wait, some kind of boomer who
I
uses
use Open
Word
Office.
these days?
Yeah, Open Office for me
is
too.
my replacement.
Oh god, you use Open Office? What kind of fucking boom?
We're
Such a
big
Linux.
fan.
we're
asshole.
Linux guys, yeah, pretty much.
That's techie.
I've worked in
I use
Linux all my life.
20.
Open source software.
Fucking love it. I don't want to pay for shit.
You should have to pay like a lot of money for a software to does the exact same fucking thing.
I'll tell you this: if you want to write a script, you have to have Final Draft because it's just so good. If you're gonna write a film thing, pay for Final Draft.
What's the difference? What does it do?
It formats everything for you. It's got keystrokes, so like if I hit enter, it'll go to the next. It'll go down a line. But if I hit enter again, I can type in a key shortcut to say what kind of line it is. So if I want to write an action line, I hit A. If I want to write for a new character, I hit C, and it'll automatically format it into a script. So I prepare all my notes, I prepare my story and other things, and I have a window open, and then I can just like write in the dialogue and write in the action lines as I visualize them in my mind. It's very, very convenient. And,
That's
I wouldn't
really
do it any other way.
interesting. Moving on.
Film writers, get it.
Here's the thing. I fucking hate Word.
Shut up, Shaq.
Okay, so
Embarrasses me every day.
the answer to your question,
PowerPoint
sir.
is so much better.
I don't
answer-
understand. Chat are pointing and laughing at us because they're throwing money at us.
Well, no, they're throwing.
It's almost
they're
like they
throwing money
don't
at
want us to
Smudge.
watch this video.
It's almost as if
No.
they have self-awareness that, they're laughing at our dismay despite the fact that, Smud Boys gained like 300 quid just from this.
This is their way.
You have
I'm
to
just
take into account the
Smud Boys
33%.
Smud Boy's like lying on a bed and people just around him just sort of throwing money at him and laughing at his expenses. Like, look at you.
No, I'll correct your voice. He's lying on a bed of money.
Yeah, but have you seen him? He's really handsome. He deserves it.
Don't someone just draw like Smud just laying back on like a super chat that's just like
Well,
$100?
You guys don't understand. The chat is like Marauder Shields to the ending of Mass Effect 3. We're about to watch this ridiculous video, and they keep stopping us.
Yeah, except it's like multiple Marauder shields.
Yes, it's just like somebody just pop out of that stone wall just right before the beam. There's like 30 of them. Like, whoa!
Rip more of the shields. He
Kill
died,
one,
more
another
the
one
hell.
pops up.
It's like, stop it, go away. All right.
That's what Shepard said at the end of Mass Effect 3. Stop it! Go away!
Oh, LiteratureDevil, I hate you. What is this? What are you doing? I'm not gonna read that.
Okay, let's go through this. Look, okay, read out. Do you want me to read it out? I'll try and read it out as quick as possible. I'll try and do it faster. Quick shoot. Why is Dragon Age Inquisition the best game ever?
No.
Okay, there we go. When will Kingdom Hearts cross over with Star Wars? I want to see Kendo Ren. Okay,
Never.
next one.
F you.
Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy VIII, Canada, BioWare, never made a bad game. Sequel trilogy good. Mary
Holy.
Sue is sexist. Star Trek Lower Decks, best show Disney good. Next
Blow
one.
my brains out.
Oh.
Pokemon Co. I see now that the circumstances of one's birth is irrelevant. It is what the gift of life determines that who you are. Me too. Also, Maggie Fish is the best woman and the prettiest and the most sane. Next to Doubt
I'd
John.
bang the shit out of her. Yeah.
Okay, only 2 more. We're giving money to make those theoretical Mass Effect games real. This super chat is assuming direct control of the stream. Done. Go.
Oh, start the video.
This is the most capitalist thing ever. They're sending super chats at you, so because they're paying for us to continue conversing with the chat, and we are.
We have to go.
Start the video.
That's
How
the most
about that
capitalist thing
thumbnail?
ever.
That
We're just yielding to the people, to the will of the people.
Right? I agree.
get
People
the
actually
control
think in
back
this
to the
real
people.
fan, fake
Chewie, if
fan
we don't get out of here, they're gonna hit
mentality.
us with another super
It's
chat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening,
Sir, can I
wherever
shields
you
take
are
that
on
super
planet
chat?
Earth. It's time for some morning coffee.
What the hell?
And with the boring nonsense.
Is this a thing that
He does, yeah.
So is Hello Greedo like Doomcock? Does he just move and then record his lines elsewhere?
You want to talk about cringy intros?
Wow.
This is far
Whoa,
too.
whoa.
Remember the 80s? Remember the 90s? Remember the 80s? Remember the 80s?
Laser tag.
I like it.
I remember laser tag. That was fun.
Unless you are a teenager, because let's face it, teenagers get a pass. Teenagers get
What?
mad at people for wearing Vans and not skateboarding. Teenagers
What
get
the
mad
fuck?
when Bad Religion
I
quote
do.
unquote sells out and has a song on a video game soundtrack. I'm talking
Wow.
about myself as a teenager. Teenagers will eventually grow out of this dumb mentality.
what mentality?
What the fuck? I don't. I'm getting upset about.
Wait. Did
whatever
he
the
insult
fuck.
teenagers?
I know exactly what he's talking about. In the skater culture, there used to be this thing where if you were at school and you're in like high school and you were a skater, they'd look at your shoes if you had skate shoes to see if they were scuffed. Because if they weren't, they knew that you weren't doing ollies and practicing your kickflips and shit.
Yeah, wouldn't
And then
that
they'd
simply
call
wear
you a
Vans
poser.
and not skateboard? This is not a thing you're able to do.
Yeah, no, it's
It's a faux pas.
So what he's saying is that like that the real fans, quote unquote, are gonna be like that. They're gonna be like, oh, you're just the poser. You don't do kickflips with your TIE fighter.
I don't know. I think he just insulted teenagers there in general, but okay, if that's
Hashtag not all teenagers.
What is this mentality? What is the mentality that teenagers apparently don't have?
No, he's saying that the teenagers have the mentality of like, oh, posers, apparently.
You're not a real skateboarder. You don't even have duct tape on your shoe from doing 360 flips all day.
always John Lemley with the American Psycho quote. Smudboy can finally afford a good business card. Thank you.
Better have a watermark.
Better be bone or Cyrillian braille. Or
Cerulean
whatever.
Braille. That's bone.
That's
No, that's boner.
the subtle thickness of it.
Teenagers
Can
get
we
a
just watch American Psycho again? Can we just?
Tomorrow, no, we're watching Dread, damn
That
it.
is always yes.
We're watching Dread. We are watching Dread tomorrow. We voted on it. Everyone agreed. That's what's happening. Okay.
It's good. He's gonna start the video, and it's gonna be American Psycho.
I just want to fit in.
pass. You are older than a teenager. If you are an adult and you're using terms like fake fan or real fan to describe anyone who either likes or dislikes a thing that you might like or dislike, that is f***ing embarrassing. Adults
So
with the
are
us versus them
you.
social
how is
attitude
where
of
not
a
how is how is not where how is it not embarrassing to be you, Hello Greedo, wearing that stupid helmet?
I mean,
Everybody-
I wear a helmet, but I also wear like the full armor.
Forgive
like
me.
Doom-
Doesn't Hello Greedo say all the time that you're not really appreciating Star Wars films if you think about XYZ?
I don't know. I can't keep track of his hypocrisy.
Yeah, I remember like I can't think of a more useless thing or bigger waste of time than debating or
The
That was
other one
Hello
was,
Greedo? Holy
the
cramoly.
other one was he was talking about if you're thinking about this or this when you're watching that scene, you're missing the point of Star Wars or something like that.
Well, that's okay.
Be a real fan and don't think. Hello Greedo.
Just consume and get excited for next products.
if you don't like this thing that you used to like changing, you're not a real fan, because real fans don't call other people fake fans.
Let's see. He has a video from 5 years ago that says "Real Star Wars fans a discussion."
Holy shit!
Awesome.
We gotta watch
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Obviously, him saying that this is a stupid discussion and that real fans and fake fans are not a thing.
that.
It has to be it.
Real fans and fake fans don't exist. Also, thank you to all my real fans for supporting me with super chats.
Here is John Lemley again. Why don't we watch American Psycho 2? You know what? That's actually not a bad idea because it's so bad that it would have been on the list of bad videos to.
What's American Psycho 2? I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I would rather watch a
food?
porn version of American Psycho than American Psycho 2.
I think that's American Psycho 2.
I'd rather watch a musical version of American Psycho.
That's awesome, actually.
Wow.
The musical version, yeah, it's pretty great.
I just want to fit in.
They had a Matt Smith play Patrick Bateman in one of them.
If he actually sings the songs to Genesis, that'd be amazing, as opposed to talking about them.
That'd be awesome. I would actually watch the shit out of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, the Puerto Rican dream. You happy now? We tried to save you from this pain. It's ironic and sad. It's not painful yet. So we're okay.
We're already 10% of the way through.
Yeah. John Lemley again. Real fans are the only fans. TM. Oh.
Only fans.
That's pretty funny.
In 2020, pretty much. Yeah, that's true. So.
Developing teenager. I made a video called Real Fans back.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. He said it.
Back in February of 2015. Well before The Force Awakens came out, well before we knew anything about the Disney era
And you look just as goofy as you did then. It's fantastic.
of Star Wars, and I basically say the same thing here that I said back then.
So
not
basically,
the
you've
biggest-
ran out of content. You're repeating yourself.
This is his shtick. This is what he does. Yeah.
He just pointed like the Phantom Menace is my favorite prequel movie. The
I
fuck?
thought his favorite was Revenge of the Sith.
Well, I think he hates the prequels.
Wait, what? He hates them?
Yeah, Hello Greedo's channel was built on prequel hate.
Okay,
And
but
then
he.
built
Oh,
on
so out of the three films he hates, this is his favorite, though.
Oof.
Interesting. Okay.
fan of the prequels, but despite that, I still stood up for those who liked the prequels. Because
No,
back
you
in
didn't.
2015, the majority of comment sections and online interactions surrounding Star Wars discourse was about real fans liking the OT and not liking the prequels.
I'm
which
sure
was
your
fucking dumb
input
then,
I'm
and
sure your
fucking-
input stepping in helped the situation, Greedo. I'm sure your involvement solved everything.
What
He
exactly
came
is the
in
point of
and he-
this? What's the point of his channel?
Imagine being someone who's like, don't insult me for liking the prequels. Hello, Greedo's got my back.
Listen, we held the line against those prequel haters. You
Look,
understand?
he was
because it was the
doing
right
something-
thing to do.
He was doing something stunning and brave.
What a stand-up guy in a world where people were literally getting shot in the streets for liking the prequels. This
In a
man
world-
stood up.
Sorry, I was going. In a world where people cannot accept other opinions, Hello Greedo will be here to correct you
With the right opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
with the right
exactly.
opinion.
And not the good guys
Dumb.
on YouTube.
Oh no. Here's John Lemley again. 2003 Clone Wars is greater than Disney Clone Wars.
It's not Disney Clone Wars because
Yeah, I
it
agree
wasn't
with
made
that.
by Disney.
First of all, it's not Disney. Second of all, you're wrong.
Nope. The 2D one is way better.
It's not though.
Yeah. It's all pretty and aesthetic.
It's not pretty. It's fucking ugly.
Yeah, I know that.
What's
2000
wrong
movie's
with your
horrible looking.
face? Just looking over at I'm trying. What was it? Mace Windu. Mace Windu
Mace
in
Windu?
2003. He's like, "What's wrong with your
What about
face?"
Count Dooku's face in the 2008 one or whatever?
Well, you know, at least he hasn't got like a retarded tiny nose.
It's no worse than his cartoon version. I just remember looking at
Yeah.
Anakin,
Weren't a
don't
lot
have
of like the
Mortis
2008
arc and
designs
the Night Sisters.
like the weren't they based on the 2003 originally, and then they started moving to closer to the actual proportions? But then a lot of the characters, it was too late for them. So Count Dooku was kind of stuck with his long face.
Why the long face, Count Dooku?
Good old long faced Dooku.
So I've got to say, to Count Dooku is fucking badass in the Clone Wars.
Not any Clone Wars. It's just like it's like a rule of thumb.
It's like, yeah, he has like one hand behind his back, and he fights like a fencer. It's like, oh, you can't touch me.
Yeah, but you
He
can't.
destroys entire armies by himself.
Yeah, but you can't
He's just
kill
like
him.
Count Dooku. Count Dooku has like his hand behind his back while he's fighting. It's like, you really have my full strength.
I want to see Genny Tartakovsky, Mace Windu versus Clone Wars Dooku.
This is the problem, though, with the Clone Wars.
Question, because that show is fucking stupid with its power levels, and Mace Windu punches 1,000 super battle.
Yeah, he destroys an entire army by himself.
That was so cool, dude.
So
and then all
dumb.
the way that the clone troopers are just like dominating, shooting everything and stuff, perfectly coordinated. I love it.
The ARC troopers are amazing in that, in Genny Tartakovsky's universe.
It's better than Maul surviving and having spider legs for no reason, just because he
It's
wanted to have
not,
them in there.
But Maul only has the spider legs for like a little while, and then he gets normal legs.
And
Mauler
then
has
you got a
spider
character. You got a character named Savage Oppress. Can you imagine?
Savage Opress.
Can you imagine writing that name down and being like, "Yeah, it's done."
So, but nothing can ever be dumber than the way they did Dirge in the 2003 version. Him just being so.
Dirge is trash in general and overpowered for all of Star Wars. So I don't
Pascal
care.
Savage.
Everything in fucking 2003 is overpowered.
I know,
Yeah, but
but
that's why it almost works. But Dirge
It's
in general,
extreme.
there's no consistency. It's like, why do I fear for any of these people's lives?
You
when
have
they-
It's not about,
droids.
it's
No, no,
it's
but
not
in-
about fearing. It's about
In
enjoying the spectacle.
2003, they have people on speeder
Oh my God.
bikes jousting.
Did you really just say that? It's not about
Yeah.
thinking about stakes. It's about enjoying spectacle. I'd like to introduce
Absolutely.
the Holdo maneuver.
I think we can feel.
No, the Holdo maneuver is visually interesting. It's just really stupid. I
Just
never
enjoy
thought
the
that the Clone
spectacle,
Wars.
Glib. Just enjoy
never-
the spectacle.
I
Don't-
would if it was
Yeah.
as good as 2003 with that thing that
Remember
hits
the
the
battle
ground.
between Luke?
That was awesome.
Remember the battle between Anakin Skywalker and Asajj Ventress? Where it's like they land on this weird planet, and then it's like a horror movie to begin with. All the clone troopers are being killed and destroyed by no one, it seems, and then they find Asajj Ventress, and it's an awesome battle. It's fantastic. I love it. Getting Tartakovsky is awesome.
I like how you said the Holdo maneuver. It's like, what other spectacle is there in The Last Jedi that's actually good? That's not completely.
I would
devoid of
say
Being
content.
shot by like 80s.
That's
Yeah, like,
boring.
everything in the sequels is more like the visuals over like actual substance. It's like, oh, what if
But
we
it's-
did?
It's
Oh,
not
like-
even as good though as the visuals that we're talking about in 2000.
Okay, you know what? Your opinions obviously don't count. Your opinions obviously don't count because you're all fake fans. Okay.
Yeah, you're fake fans. Let's get back to the real fan video. What?
How do you qualify that the visuals are not as good in the 2003 Clone Wars?
Oh
Yeah.
man, editing, the editing of it, the actual framing of the shots, what is happening, the level of detail that comes to the things that are happening. Like
Detail? There's
when
no
he's-
detail in that
What are
cartoon.
you
It's as
talking about?
basic as it gets.
Remember when remember when Mace does that move that takes apart all the droids and they all
Yeah,
like
that was dumb.
collapse?
I want to point out that
So what?
objectively there is more detail in the visual effects in The Last Jedi than there is in the Tartakovsky cartoon.
Yeah, but that's
I
his
mean-
style. That's a good. It's his visual style that's being.
Well, you
translated
could
onto
say that
Star
it's the
Wars.
same style, like The Last Jedi. That's just Ryan Johnson's style of terrible storytelling. You
Yeah,
just
but
don't
the
like
thing
my
about, the thing
style.
about the
Yeah, but
2003
Getting
Clone
Tartakovsky is
Wars-
amazing at storytelling. Getting Tartakovsky
Yeah,
is
exactly.
talented.
Yeah, exactly. We can list off all of his great cartoons and all the good stories that are.
You
part of it.
can, but listing off his great cartoons does not count as a defense for the Clone Wars cartoon.
But
As
it
if
does
saying,
include the Clone Wars cartoon.
see, this thing he did that's good means that this other thing he did must be good by
Okay,
association.
No,
so
it's,
let's
that's
say
not
that
the
the
argument. The
defense
argument
for
is
the
that
prequels-
everything is that
Well,
all
what
of
if,
these
what
things
if
that
someone
we
defended the
listed are-
prequels by saying, "Oh, George Lucas created like
Yeah,
the
the
original trilogy"? Yeah.
Well, no,
Is
because
George,
I can
George Lucas
easily.
is George Lucas making a series of like 5-minute shorts out of the prequels?
Well, I could easily just attach, go to like Samurai Jack. Dexter's Laboratory. And easily attach the elements that he used to make those good.
But we're not
And you can
talking
find-
about those. We're
Exactly,
talking about
but
this other cartoon.
I have to finish my point first. The thing is, I can find the same elements you can find in Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack. You can find them in the Star Wars 2003, the Clone Wars. And you can find them there, and they're just fantastic.
They're
Yeah,
just fantastic, no kind of qualifying elements.
Oh, sure, we can. You have a different. He knows how to create tension. He knows how to mount characterization with very little dialogue, through visuals, through all sorts of elements, but not just dialogue. Game Tartakovsky is really good at that.
I feel like
atmosphere.
Is this in the actual? Is this in the actual cartoon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Gents, I feel like this is a discussion for another time. We have other right now.
I'm trying to make. I'm trying to waste time on the chat side.
This is a-
Chat wins again.
Talking about chat winning, I have to read another super chat, so let's do it. Rox's Uzi. Fun fact, Pokemon is the highest grossing multimedia franchise. Okay. Star Wars is number 5, yet Pokemon and Sword Shield are still terrible games. Really?
Pokemon has not made a good game since Ruby and Sapphire.
Really?
I haven't played
grant
Pokemon.
you that.
I haven't played Pokemon since Red and Blue. So
Yeah,
I
I
remember
know.
as a kid, I used to play like Diamond and Pearl, and I think the last one I played was like X and Y with like the Mega Evolutions. I don't remember looking at it objectively, so I don't think I can comment on if they're good or not.
The last one that I wanted to complete and finish and have a good time in was Diamond and Pearl. And after that, it fell off for me. Black and White was boring for me. But your mileage may vary, obviously.
Here is Goodman 4. Thank you. Have you guys ever read the old Star Wars Dark Horse comics? What do you know of them? I know there's a manga. I haven't read it yet. It's still ongoing.
I've read none of those. I'm a big fan, so I've read none of those, obviously.
I've read some of them. I haven't read all of them. And the ones that I've got my hands on are pretty much ones which I could find at just like public libraries or ones that friends owned.
All right.
Chat's angry with me. Listen, Pokemon fucking sucks.
It really does. I hate it. No, I really do.
Allegory for animal abuse, and it's really offensive.
I've hated what Pokemon has been since they invented Unknown. Remember that, where there was like A through Z Pokemon.
The unknown thing.
You guys are just abusing this.
Well, you know what? I did play those. Whatever came after Red, the second generation. When they came out with a Mewtwo.
I want to point out that they have a Pokemon called Piplup.
Yeah, they do.
Piplup is a good Pokemon.
Hey.
The Pokemon
it's
that are bad.
stupid name.
You know how many stupid
are the
names?
ones that don't make any sense at all. Like,
You know how many stupid names
The
are
only
in
thing I know
Star
about
Wars?
Pokemon these days is like what I hear about from other YouTubers. For some reason, YouTubers just love Pokemon. I don't know why.
Oh my god, there's like a subgenre of people on Instagram that are influencers that play Pokemon Go and do like YouTube adventures and stuff. It's
fine. It's fine.
Play Pokemon Go.
It's fine to play Pokemon and like Pokemon, but I don't know. I don't know anything about it anymore. I just don't know anything about it.
It's fine. It's fine. You just should have your voting rights removed. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you see, if you are fat enough, then and if you take up 2 seats, you get 2 votes.
Actually, if you're fat, then you should play Pokemon Go because then you get your fat ass up.
There you go.
Yeah, it makes you go walking. And of course, you have to watch. Probably carry some sort of defensive device if you play Pokemon Go. But it's fun.
Not for the Pokemon.
I guess.
I want to point out that Pokemon Go is literally shit. There isn't even any fucking gameplay. Why do people love it?
There is gameplay now. Actually, they're adding it in.
I remember, like back then, all was like, you tap a screen to fight a battle. It's like, what the fuck? What happened to actual fucking Pokemon battles where you have the moves and shit, and you actually?
All those game developers, they're the best. They're adding gameplay into the video game. Awesome. How would that's novel? That's genius.
Pokemon Go was just like a data tracking service that was like egress, so that they could get all of these cell phones around certain areas.
Well, you see, it was another attempt. It was another attempt by Nintendo to track how many calories people would need when they take over the world, so that they could feed people just enough to stay subservient.
I just remember
crazy stuff out there, man. Google is trying to get some.
Stay on target.
I just remember Pokemon Go to the polls.
Oh no!
I remember that.
No.
All right, we're veering way off course here, guys. Let's go back. John Lemley, Gendy Tartakovsky's primal is greater than 3D Clone Wars. That's rather recent, isn't it? I think.
It's possible because I've seen some previews of Primal. It looks amazing.
Incorrect statement, but we can discuss that another time. Moving on, radio is
It's
factually
it's
incorrect.
okay to be wrong.
Disliking Tartakovsky.
I'm glad you're coming to terms with that, Johnny. I'm glad you're coming to terms with it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. One day you'll grow up. One day you'll grow up, Johnny, and then you won't.
One day you will be a real fan, just like me.
Well done.
Bravo, Shiny. Bravo, sir.
Way to bring us back around.
Fantastic.
Radio is factually incorrect. Gen 5 is the best. Wrong. It is the last competent Pokemon Go game that was ever made. Pokemon Go. It was the last.
Pokemon Go games. No, it's not Pokemon Go. It should be Pokemon Stop.
Gen 5 was like the last Pokemon game made. That's why you remember it fondly. It's still blah. Okay.
I love how
The best is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That is final. And they haven't made a good one since. Pokemon Ranger was a thing as well. I played that as a kid. But yeah, Pokemon sucks now. It used to be blah for a while. It started off good, but now it's shit.
this man in Ireland.
I play Pokemon Go every day.
Oh, stop it.
All
Doing
right.
so well, Shiny.
Back to
3 more super
Shallow
chats.
Greedo.
Joe Crazy. We have to make them Pokemon go to the polls, Hillary. Oh, thanks, Joe.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, just avoid that one. Roxas Uzi. Pokemo Black White.
Pokemon.
What the hell? Versions and Black 2 White. There's Black 2 White 2? Are you serious? Oh.
Yep, because the first versions were so. It's like the Black 2 and White 2 are essentially the Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin to Dark Souls 2.
Sounds like a rejected Star
It's-
Wars character.
it's the-
Black 2, White 2.
I've played the both, where so the book it's basically just reusing the same map and the same Pokemon in the same region. It's really just weird. I can't remember much about it, but that's all I remember. That pretty much all the same places were there.
I don't care about any of that. I just
All right.
want.
Well-
I just want to play Blue and Red again. I don't care about any of this
Apparently, they
Blue
have
and red,
good story.
Those I remember. Blue and red.
Yeah.
shit.
All
And
I
Gold
remember
and
is
Silver to a lesser extent.
all I remember is like having my the DS, like the first one, and having Diamond and Pearl.
Yes, so do I.
I still have mine. Yeah, that's what I carry in there.
Because I sold them when I was
That's
working.
what you carry in your cowboy hat.
In my DS, I always keep Pearl.
Huh. So these two games, Black 2, White 2, have pretty good story for a Pokemon game. Also, Gen 3 and Gen 4 are the best. Gen 7 is good too. How many generations are there? This is nuts. I had no idea.
I don't know. We need.
I heard there's like 1,000 Pokemon now.
We need Pokemon genocide.
How many Pokemon? How many Pokemon are there? I heard there's 1,000 now.
I could play 1,000.
God bless you, devil.
I had there's over 9,000.
Let's go.
All right, John Lemley, it's okay to be wrong. You must know from experience.
Oh, classic.
Very nice.
Sorry, I've just that really just I'm just going to lie down on the floor now.
We're going to have to activate a new clone now. That one just
Just,
killed Shiny.
Put you in the ointment tank. Sort of woo. All right, Jake the Surgeon. Thank you, sir. Gen 1 is objectively the worst generation. Okay. They are broken
Get out of here.
on a multitude of levels. The AI only knows what types a move is good against not if the move they know does damage.
It's not about how complex the gameplay is.
It's not about
Pokemon.
saving what you love. It's about killing what you hate.
No, it's the fact that the fresh presentation of it and how interesting this turn-based RPG is at the time, that was so fascinating. And then the designs of the Pokemon were more directly lifted from animals, so it wasn't quite as out there as it's gotten. But even then, they had stupid Pokemon that I would have scrapped from the release, like Magnemite. But you need electric Pokemon because you need to be able to balance it out, so... Don't know what to tell you. You're always gonna have weird Pokemon. But
It
I
is
like
Japan.
I like the designs. I like the design lead of Gen 1 and 2, and to a lesser extent 3, because it was a little bit more rooted in kind of this animalistic design. Now I don't even know what the hell is Arceus. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even tell me.
There's a literal god of time in Pokemon.
I don't care.
I'm glad I don't care about Pokemon anymore, really.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds awful.
Okay. Jake the Surgeon. Now we're talking about Pokemon again. Lance's strongest Pokemon can be beaten with a level 2 poison type because it will spam moves that beat its type but do no damage. Wow.
Pokemon is not a fair game system, and the way that they set it up with the EV and everything really made me dislike it. Because like if you actually want to be competitive, it's just cheesing. You're just cheesing a bunch of different lineups, and it bores me once it gets to that level because I lose any connection to like how much I like this Pokemon or how much I like that Pokemon. So it's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh with that. But that's just my opinion. I mean, there are some really great players, I guess.
All right, here's a chat for voice. Unpopular opinion: Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin is better than Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 3 is the best. Deal with it.
Would you comment on that? But I played Dark Souls 1. But I haven't played Dark Souls 2 in its entirety. So
why would you? If you're not going to comment on it, you interrupted me. It was directed at me. Fuck you.
It was.
By the way, Roxas, how does it feel to have no friends?
The coldest man.
So what is the best Dark Souls then?
Isn't Roxas a nobody or something like that? Like isn't that what is in Kingdom Hearts is what he's called, right? Like there's a heartless and nobodies, right?
Oh no.
And Roxas is Sora's nobody.
Okay, look, I'm taking matters into my own hands. I'm going to read them out speedily again. Glib, you saying you don't like Trubbish, a literal garbage Pokemon. A man, John Lemley, a grown man wears childhood... What? Trubbish.
What? Trubbish? Oh my goodness. I've never heard of that. I
Anyway,
stopped
shut the
giving
fuck
a shit
no, just
once,
shut
once
the
I saw
fuck up. I'm reading these super chats.
I have to say one word. Zigzagoon. All right, now we can move on.
What?
John Lemley, a grown man wears childhood merchandise while telling people that they're immature for liking childish media about space wizards. Mandalore, can we just
Yes.
agree Dub Digimon was the best? Jake the Surgeon, EVs and IVs have no effect in the main game. They're only relevant to competitions. Okay, go.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely know that. But then once you get to the final four or whatever in the competitive stuff after
Shush! Start the
there's
video.
nothing to do.
Now, you're allowed to like, you're allowed to dislike, you're allowed to bitch and moan about any piece of Star Wars that you're not a fan of until
then
your
complain.
tongue falls out. That's what it is to be a Star
We complain. You say, "Oh, you got to bitch and moan about this media." It's like, but then we complain about the media, and then you have a bitch fit at us.
Yeah, I could have sworn you said the complete opposite. You're not allowed to question things. You're not allowed to criticize things. That you're being a false fan for some reason.
I can't imagine a bigger waste of time than debating art.
Yeah, right.
Debating
So
art
you
is
can-
fantastic.
You can bitch about
Okay,
it.
it's fantastic. I mean, the subjective portion of art, debating that is really interesting. But that's because if you have a lot of good art stacked against each other, and they're all objectively good, then all you have left to do is discuss the subjective qualities of it. That's why the art
I also
seems
like
so subjective.
I also love discussing the objective quantities of art so that I can be better myself at art. I think that it does the same hand-me-down scientific progress that we've made where you learn from the previous in whatever endeavor that you're a part of. That applies to art too. So if there's a great master, learn objectively what they're doing, copy it, and then find if you want to do it your own way.
Exactly. From a great
know,
master, you can learn important lessons. Like, for example, like a Last Jedi is objectively bad. It's a very important lesson to learn.
You know, I think it's very fitting that Hello Greedo is called Greedo because his arguments are McClunky.
McClunky.
Star Wars fan, man. We like talking about what we like. We like talking about
but
what
you don't
we
like debating art.
We like talking about what could have been. We like talking about where things are going. It's always been like that. The only difference now is social media. So when I see or hear someone say, you know, a movie came out X years ago, get over it, stop talking about it, I disagree. Keep talking about it. It's fun to talk about Star Wars, even Star Wars that
But
you
debating
don't like. It's
art.
fun.
Okay, so what's the problem then?
What the fuck's happening?
Keep
At the
talking
end of the video?
about what
Okay.
you love and what you hate about Star Wars.
Okay.
Now, the big difference is turning your feelings of a project into some rabid digital wannabe techno crusade where you feel like you're being
What,
the
like
good
a
guy
YouTube
going
channel?
after the
Wait a second. Is he saying it's okay to hate and love Star Wars, but you can't just start talking about it online because you're too passionate? What's the difference?
Isn't that what he does for a living?
You're wearing a goddamn Star Wars helmet for 5-6 years, sir. Do you look in the mirror
He's
ever?
never taking it off. It must be pretty smelly in there.
So obviously he was hypocritical in the beginning, but now he's like actually saying hypocritical things. It's just, I don't know.
Well, yeah, again, the Hello Greedo saying, well, you know, what's the best thing about it is that discussing, and I really love discussion. And then he goes to, he also is known for saying, I can't think of a bigger waste of time than debating art. And then another one where he says, you know, oh, well, you can bitch and moan all you want. You can criticize anything you want. And then he has a bitch fit about you criticizing Star Wars films that he likes.
I don't get this, man. I really don't. It's like he's saying the thing he is against, and then he does the exact same thing. It's very odd.
That's kind of his thing, isn't it?
I to be completely oblivious and hypocritical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To be oblivious to his own hypocrisy, that seems to be the trend with him, just like Movie Bob.
All right. Well, John Lemley, thank you, sir. White man wearing fascist paraphernalia referencing 1930s, 40s Germany tells people what they are allowed to do. Yeah. Ironic, isn't it?
Bad guys who in Star Wars or who like some aspects of Star Wars that you don't like. I'm gonna get you. I told him. People who have seemingly turned their entire existence into
Like you?
actively shitting on people for liking or disliking a thing. Just
What is
all
your
day,
purpose?
every day.
What is your purpose then, Greedo?
Look at his
You do
channel.
not fit the description.
Yeah, go to Greedo's channel. See all his videos. What are they about?
You're not allowed to do that.
You
He's like
can't
Kylo
have
Ren.
fan YouTube. You can't have fan web rings. You can't do Twitter. You can't do it. You're too passionate.
He really he really reminds me of Kylo Ren because he's wearing an original trilogy helmet to like try and
Well,
copy
no,
it.
he reminds me because he's,
Look
you know,
past
wearing
the
it for no reason.
He can't fucking decide what his opinions are.
Here is
Just like
here is Roxas again. Yes, Roxas was a nobody, but in Kingdom Hearts 3, he gained his own heart and body, becoming
of
his
course.
own person. Oh. Also, why would I need friends? I have Entai in my job. Okay, that's a good. Yeah, that's fine. You're good. What else do you need?
Salary man here.
Well, a little bit of lore of Kingdom Hearts, a little bit of Entai, a little bit of lifestyle.
still sucks, Roxy.
It's not
Sorry. It's still the worst one, objectively, in many, many, many ways.
Here is
Constructively.
man.
And as a son, I will die on that hill.
Oh, okay. Let's keep going. Mandalore. What the? Catacla? What the heck is I can't. Cadicla? Okay, whatever. Greedo has over 20k subs, but can barely get 10k views. Well, it just came out 2 days ago, right? So I'm sure we'll get more.
You know what's funny? I get Hello Greedo and AT-AT chat confused all the time.
Yes.
I mean, well, they both wear Stormtrooper helmets, though one of them is wearing like a pilot helmet.
Have you seen them in the same room?
Oh
At the
my
same time?
fucking god! I mean, they kind of have like the same vapid opinions.
You have to realize every other thing that LitDev says is a reference to American Psycho, okay? You just have to realize that.
It's funny because it's true.
Playing digital thumb war, trying to stoke some kind of response. Just trying to stir the pot. I legitimately hope these people are just like kids, just trying to piss people off. Because that's some kind of shit that I would have done when I was a kid, right? That's some kind of shit that I did do as a kid on the internet, in forums and whatnot. Just being a shithead.
So there's something wrong with being an adult and doing that? What's wrong with a grown man or grown woman talking about the thing they like passionately, whether they like it or dislike it?
Well, I think he's specifically talking about sort of like saying that you're a fake fan, for instance, like specifically.
Wait, no. He referenced that at the beginning of his video, saying this is silly to even say that there's such a thing as a fake or a true fan. So he sort of says there's no such thing, which is kind of contrary to his thumbnail, but fine. That's cool. Now he's saying you're doing this as an adult. Well, this is stuff I used to do as a kid. This is silly. What's wrong with a fan saying I like or dislike something passionately? Nothing.
It's
But that's what he was. No, but he's saying that earlier in the video. He said it was perfectly fine to like talk about and discuss, or to like something or to dislike something online.
Greedo said it, folks. You're not allowed to talk about stuff.
Because he did it when he was a kid, and that's silly. Or, I don't know, old school? I don't know. Jake the Surgeon. Despite any disagreements, you guys, along with EFAP, make my days better. Without you, I wouldn't have met some really awesome people. Love you guys, all the gay.
Nice.
I was about to say, wait. Oh, okay, gay. Yeah.
You too, brother.
Space Cowboy.
Yeehaw.
Space cowboy. All day. All night. All day.
Just imagine like 20 years space cowboy Marty.
20 years shiny. 3,000 Smudcast episodes shiny. It's gonna be great. You're gonna answer so many super chats.
This is the darkest season of our Smudcast. The darkest adventures.
Darkest adventures. We're going to beat up a lot of people wearing Star Wars helmets, shiny. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be able to take a lot of heads.
Or I hope some of these social media accounts are run by a handful of people, because some of them seem to be online 24/7 doing.
Okay, so now he's whining about social media people doing this thing he doesn't like.
How come it seems like this video is made because he just needed to put out a video?
Does he have anything better to do?
Like a week because he put out a video. And notice how long it is. It's only like 10 minutes. So it seems like he put this out because he needed to put out a video that can hold multiple ads. And that's why he made this.
People online are saying stuff about a thing I love. It's so childish. It's so what? Don't they have something better to do? Yeah, we all do. So do you. You have better things to do. We all do. I agree.
I want to point out it takes like 5 seconds to write a tweet. It takes a lot longer to make a video.
Yeah.
It also takes like 5 seconds to just check an account and make sure there are multiple people running this chat, instead of just assuming it's one guy.
What happened to brevity to the soul of wit? That's what they tell Mauler all the time, right? Despite them, how does anyone know how long an average Shakespeare play lasts?
Yeah.
3x.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. Who else puts out hour and a half, 2 hour content? Oh, right, Mauler does. So I'm pretty sure it's kind of strange that they use a Shakespeare quote like "brevity, the soul of wit" to denounce Mauler, despite the fact that the guy who said that quote put out content that's like 2 hours or 3 hours long.
Brevity is the soul of wit, and my friend Mauler is overflowing with it.
Yeah, Shakespeare would love Mauler.
Just to get like a little bit off topic, but I remember when we were watching the Last Jedi. What was that documentary? I can't remember what it was called specifically.
Director and the Jedi.
Director and the Jedi. That's it. And his evidence for like Russian bots attacking him on Twitter was that the people
Russian bots.
the people talking about it had Russian usernames.
It's all these Russians.
Like,
It's just like Trump. They're out
Vodka,
to get me.
vodka 25, vodka 67.
Russian bots. I mean, I think if there was legitimately coordinated attacks, they would probably, put their usernames as something in English and not Russian.
You'd think so, but no.
This is vodka 1, come in vodka 2. Okay, vodka 3, vodka 3. This is vodka 3, come in vodka 5. This is vodka leader.
As soon as we downvote The Last Jedi, let's rig the election.
This is a vodka 5 over swooping to vodka 5 leader.
That'd be
All
hilarious.
vodkas report in.
That'd be hilarious. It wasn't even the government. It was just like a group of like bored Russians just wanted to mess with the American election.
Should
And
that be
down,
like,
down for the Last Jedi.
should vodka be a call sign for squadrons? Like we all just get in our ships and.
That's going to be on Smudcast. We're Vodka Squadron if we play.
Vodka Squadron.
All right, here's a super chat directed to our voice again. Yes, you die on that hill with Dark Souls 1. Did he even say Dark Souls 1 was the bad? I don't even know what you said there, voice. Chain back, stabbing, item duping, overpowered, poise, terrible net code, and the myriad of glitches Dark Souls 1. Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Doesn't
Fuck up.
have ADP. That is my counter. And I never said Dark Souls 1 was the best one. Mechanically, anyway, it has the best world design.
Ah, very, very nuanced opinion there, sir.
Obviously, you're just a fake Dark Souls fan.
Yeah.
If you're looking for boss battles that are the best, then you're going to want to go to 3.
Here's the thing. I fucking hate voice. He embarrasses me every day. I like
A little on the nose there, Shiny.
Here's the thing. I love voice. He cherishes me every day.
Damn, dude, Glib.
And he crushes you in Dark Souls, yeah.
He makes
Voice
me
cowboy.
so joyful. Radio Cowboy here.
Radio Cowboy.
Serving the radioactive wasteland. Welcome to New Vegas.
Here is John Lemley. Hello, Greedo. Complains about bots. Also, hello, Greedo. Wears a helmet adorned by clones with no personality that hold no individual value or utility. Oh. Eeh.
not adorned by clones.
Yeah, I think
So,
Shiny would
hold
have something to
on.
say about that.
We're about 25% into this video. Has he said anything yet?
It's not.
I think he's
Not really.
kind of sat down and started calling everyone babies and children. That's about it so far.
Here's the
Totally
thing, John Lemley. You're fucking wrong. It's a stormtrooper helmet, not
Here's the thing.
a clone trooper helmet. I'm afraid you're a fake fan. Your fan license is having to be taken away from you, and I'm afraid you're gonna have to leave the chat.
If you don't vote for Shiny, you just ain't a fan.
You don't have a soul.
You don't have a soul. Oh, no. Your words are worth nothing to me. Oh. Oh, no. More super chats. King Jared the Lion of House
Damn it.
Goodburn. Sorry, the hope you remember me thing was in reference to you, Shiny, in our chats on Voyager. Oh. And my feedback given to your Southpaw interview. Sorry if you don't remember me. Doesn't matter anyway. Okay, that's fine.
I'm trying to remember that now. I'm sorry. I'm very terrible with my memory. I forget half the things we say in like. I remember some people bring up like it just in DMs, like things I've said in like Smudcast, like from weeks or even months ago, and I don't even remember the video they were talking about.
Remember when that time when Shiny conceded that 2003's Clone Wars was better than 3D Clone Wars? He doesn't remember that.
It's his obedience chip kicking in so that he doesn't rebel against us.
But yeah,
clever.
don't take it personally because I forget a lot of things.
All right. Thank you, King. John Lemley. Spyro. Greater than Dark Souls.
Would have been a terrible remake.
Oh. Voice knows your game, sir.
The remake was awful.
I don't remember Spyro the Dragon. I know I played it. That's all I remember about it.
Yeah.
But
I remember like playing Spyro as a kid.
okay, I'll detract. It wasn't awful. It was just lazy. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, with nothing new apart from graphics.
At the time.
It felt like playing a PS1 game.
Right.
Ooh, that's harsh.
Here's the thing. Fucking hate voice.
Didn't you use that
He
joke?
doesn't
Yeah.
even like Spyro.
You reused that joke there, Shiny. I mean, you
Don't worry
can.
about it
You
already.
can. It's okay.
It's a good one. It's a good joke. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Try it again. Maybe they'll laugh.
Don't mistake me. I like Spyro. It was my childhood, but the remake was essentially just that again with a fresh coat of paint and none of the updates mechanically. You're living in the PS4 era. How is updating stuff like the combat and the navigation and the world design not a priority? Or did you want?
I don't
Or did you
want to do that. I just want to make it easy.
Or did you want people
Boys.
to walk away from the remake being like, "Wow, the dragonfly having legs was my favorite part of the game," because that was
Voice.
a monumental failure.
Voice,
Different
I just want
games.
the graphics, voice. Just want to play the pretty game.
It's not a
It's the same
one-side
game.
Why think when you can feel? Come on.
Feel the graphics. 4K, 8K, 30,
Come on.
30
Why do you think I'm so
12K.
excited? Why do you think I'm so Demon
Haven't you
Souls?
ever heard of? Haven't you ever heard of reader response theory? Come on.
Just think that it's the game you want it to be, and it'll be.
I have a question. Has anyone ever read Reader Response Theory?
No.
Nobody has. Zero people have read that.
All right, let's get back to AT-AT chat.
To quote the great Mark Twain, reader response theory is something that everyone wants to have read, but nobody wants to read,
To
and
quote
nobody
the
has
great-
actually read.
To quote the great Patrick Bateman.
The very great Patrick Bateman, yes.
Oh, I know exactly what LitDev was talking about, but we won't bring that up. That's a whole other topic.
It's a little bit different, yeah.
Yeah, a little. Let's not introduce that book to anyone, shall we? Okay. Andrew Clark. Remember when Shiny took LD's name? This is not Andrew Clark. This is Fairy Joker. Shut up, Andrew Clark. What are you doing? Get out of Super Chats. Come on. What are you doing here?
I remember that.
You're in our freaking Smudcast. Stop it.
We got a slew of more super chats as it came in.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll read them out quickly. So, Dead Slash for $5. 2D Clone Wars is best Clone Wars. Shut the fuck up. John Lemley for $2.50. Star Wars is a social construct. Yes. Fox's Uzi. No, Dark Souls 1 doesn't have the best world design. In Dark Souls 2, you're able to go to many more areas at the start. Then Dark Souls 1 also ADP isn't that bad once you know about the attunement increases also.
I'll ask the question, at what point in any part of Dark Souls 2 do you loop back from one area into another, like you do Undead Burg back into Firelink Shrine, or the sewers down to the Valley of Drakes? It doesn't happen because it's an adventure line. This is the problem that 3 has as well, and it's just as bad, I admit, but at least 3 does have parts where you can loop back into yourself to get to a previous area. In 2, you're basically going through an adventure line until you reach the proverbial end bonfire, at which point the devs say, congratulations, you've finished this stream, this line, please go back to the beginning and pick another one. Also, yes, ADP isn't bad once you know about it, but that's the point. You don't know about it, so you go blissfully unaware about the handicap that has befallen you, despite the fact ADP is more important than any other stat in the game, and we're talking about a levelable ARPG. So that is fucking terrible.
Jake the Surgeon, $5. Voice reminds me of myself when I talk about movies with my friends.
Really?
You wish you were that cool.
You wish you were a dry-witted English radio? All right.
Sorry, anyway.
Let's keep going.
In this shit, and if there's only one person behind the username sitting there, and they've devoted so much of their time here on Earth before the inevitable eye-eating earthworm takes a bite doing this kind of shit,
What? That's you, though.
Yikes.
What is the point on bleeping out your swears? Just don't fucking swear.
No, he has to be cool.
What even are
I
these
swear, I get
segments?
deja vu.
What is the... Yeah, is that...
What are those segments, Shiny? They're the good parts of the video.
Why does to swear and just put... That's just more effort. Just don't swear in the first place, then you don't have to go through and put bleeps in.
But how do you look cool if we don't swear?
He needs to swear and then bleep himself. Don't even bother bleeping it. Just say bleep instead. That's even cooler.
I specifically made an effort in the Rise of Skywalker series to not swear specifically because I didn't want it to include swearing. If I just let myself go and start, just talking about shit and just saying shit, piss, fuck, cunt all the time, I'd have to bleep like every other word.
Yeah.
But I put special effort into not putting swears into it.
Exactly.
Specifically so it didn't have to do that and so it could appeal to everyone.
Yes, this is what you want. Like with popular channels like the Try Guys, they're gigantic, but they swear so much, and sometimes they bleep out, sometimes they don't. It's very inconsistent. It's not something you can watch in public or watch with friends because these people are man-childs. They swear at everything. And I want an actually fun, entertaining show like the Try channel in general, before the Try Guys left it. We don't need all this swearing. We get it. You're emotional. Use a different vocabulary to be expressive. Watch it with your friends. Don't be embarrassed. It's something I've always got annoyed with popular channels. They swear a lot, but that's just me.
Nothing wrong with swearing.
John Lemley, I went to a Darth Vader musical. Really? But
What?
Ahsoka Tano is too black sounding for me. Also, she was a
That's
good
funny.
friend.
Very interesting use of American Psycho quote.
Everything
she was
John
a good
Lemley
friend.
says is also American Psycho quote.
It's totally disease-free.
It's a laugh riot. Brave Vader, oh Vader, brave Vader. It was a laugh fire. It's a total laugh riot.
So often with the Star Wars fandom. It's the same stuff we heard back in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you were alive and aware of the fandom, you know. Same copy and paste shit, maybe some different language, that's about it. People called one another bashers and gushers. An enormous divide in the fandom. And I think that's why it's all so tired.
Yeah, because a forum is the best place to understand the divide in an entire group of people. It's on one website. Yeah, exactly. That's like saying the BioWare social network was where all the fans of BioWare went, and they all argued and they all hated each other. It's like, no, just people who bought the game.
I know the prequels had a lot of backlash, huge backlash for the prequels. That's why I think eventually led George Lucas to sell Star Wars to Disney. The thing is about the prequels, no matter how bad they got, they weren't like insulting to the fans. They weren't just trying to destroy the previous the established heroes of the original trilogy. They tried to add on to it, and that was it.
Yeah,
that's a big difference between the prequels and the sequels. The sequels actively hate you, it feels like.
I mean, some people, I think, went a bit extreme with their reaction to the prequels, like the whole George Lucas raped my childhood song.
That was a joke, right?
Really? I thought, because some people, I remember bringing it up as like an actual serious thing which people were pushing, or at least there were people who were taking it seriously. I never actually listened to it, but
I remember liking the prequels for the longest time until I saw the Plinkett review, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so they're pretty terrible," and they are. I'm not saying they're not terrible, but they are terribly constructed and written, but they're filled with great ideas. That's the one saving grace of the prequels. They're filled with great ideas that were just poorly executed. The sequels, they didn't have very many ideas. They just kind of stole ideas and had a bunch of terrible ideas, and they were poorly executed and insulting.
No direction. It was all over the place. I would ultimately agree. I don't think George Lucas had any kind of malice intent when he went into making these films. And I think he has a lot more understanding of what Star Wars is than someone like Rian Johnson.
Or even Kathleen Kennedy. And I think Glib said this before, but
I think Kathleen Kennedy has no she's not the one often coming up with the ideas behind these films. She just hires the people who do certain things. She sometimes builds off with certain ideas. We know that she came up with the idea to include Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian.
I think she wanted to be a girl too.
Yeah, she wanted the Baby Yoda to be a boy. They could be a girl. Sorry. So we do know she has some ideas. But ultimately, shows like The Mandalorian were still majoritively made by Dave Filoni and what's his name now?
Too bad the show sucks.
Favreau.
Yeah, I think Glim had said this before, but the prequels could have benefited a lot from redrafts and second, third drafts of the script.
I have a story about that after you're done.
I have another question. Do you think that The Mandalorian is insulting to fans? Like it's got malice?
Not nearly, no.
Absolutely not.
Malice, no. But malice, no. It's insulting, maybe, but by accident. If The Mandalorian is insulting,
monkey wrenches.
I think it's by accident, not by sheer malice. The Last Jedi has malice, and you can just taste it. Even normal people who aren't involved in like this sort of critique, they can taste the maliciousness from The Last Jedi. Mandalorian, if it's insulting the fans or the established Star Wars canon, I believe it's by accident.
So I agree with that. I had a conversation because I went to dinner with someone who is starting the company that I'm trying to work for, and he was telling me that he knew one of the artists that worked on the prequels because they had worked with ILM and all these visual effects companies, and everybody knows each other. It's like such a small, tight-knit community. So what the artist said is that the protocol for the prequels was you'd go to Skywalker Ranch, you go to the room where you don't take anything in, no phones, nothing. You walk in, all the art stuff that you need is set up in that room. You sit down with a bunch of artists, you get your sketch pad out that's there, and George just starts telling the story. And he starts telling everybody the story. And then everybody sketches something different about what he's talking about, and he comes around and he looks at all the different sketches about what you're working on, and he chooses whether or not he likes it. And then once he gets all this concept art, then it gets sent to production. Now, the problem is that he doesn't have the script when he's telling the story. So he's telling this story to people that's off of the top of his head or written from notes, and he gets all this concept art, and then they start the production, and he doesn't have the script yet. And then you can watch the behind-the-scenes footage where you can see that he delivers the first draft script to a production team that's trying to assemble the sets and the what's going to be happening soon based on the art. So it's putting the cart before the horse. Even though it's a great idea to sketch all these ideas out and tell the story that way, I still think you shouldn't start any production aspect until you have your script done, because that's only going to depend on you. You're one guy.
Well, I think you can still do concept art like before. Just getting
yes.
like if you have
Yes.
okay, I need concept art for ships. I need
But not
concept art for
production.
planets. Yes,
Not production, right? Okay.
Yes, you're right
Then
there.
yes. keep
Because
going.
like
Go,
okay,
take it
just
away.
because imagine if George Lucas just went, okay, so I want you to design interesting worlds and planets and all that, and then I might be able to incorporate it into my story. For example, like say if someone drew up this planet and it was gorgeous, like Felucia or something, and he's like, okay, I will then include that in my script later, or I'll maybe find a way to include it. And I think that's something like that is fine, because there are ideas which were there was an
So,
idea
Shiny,
for a planet.
let me interrupt really quick. Let me just say that the preferred version of what I'm talking about, just so that everybody understands, is that what he would do is he would write the script out, and then he would have the script, and instead of saying the story from memory, he could just read the script out loud and say, I want you to design this, I want you to design that. And if you wanted to walk away and create something else, then he could encourage that. I have my own method of doing this, but I severely put emphasis on having the script ready before you decide to go into any aspect of production, unless you're trying to just like, here, draw me Tatooine, basically. Like he's saying, there's a desert planet. Can you draw what a desert planet looks like, Ralph? And then he does it. You know what I mean? But I don't think that telling the artists the story before you have it written down is a good idea, because you might have errors in it. You might not think about, oh, well, maybe I should redo this part.
That's how I did Dr. Alpha. I had the script ready. I had the story ready first, and then I started to do the script, and then I started commissioning the artwork.
Well, if you have ideas, you could still play around with them. Yeah,
absolutely. Shiny, I just want to say that I don't disagree that concept art as like before production is a good idea. I just mean building shit and assembling the team.
Yeah, I understand that, because we have talked about this before on and one of the other things where we're talking about George Lucas, if he's a good director, because of the really weird video.
Agreed.
Well, here's the thing about that exactly. So it's not exactly unprecedented for for writers specifically, to look at a picture and then develop a story around it. That's actually a common pulp method, to just look at a picture, a concept art, and then write a story around it, pulling evidence and inspiration from the artwork. That was an actual thing that the pulp writers could do and did. No, in fact, you actually see this actually happen in DS9 when they go back to in time or whatever it is. I forgot what those episodes were called, but when they go back to whatever time period it was, and everyone's like a pulp writer and everything, they actually use that practice in that episode. Yeah, it's an actual thing. It's an actual thing that pulp writers did.
And what's funny about that is all those writers that are in that room for the pulp episode are the actual writers for that show.
It's a fantastic. I like that. I like that a lot. I really, as everyone probably knows, if you listen to me speak more than 5 minutes, I really like the pulp writers. I think I respect them. I really like the idea of what they've done, because out of necessity, they became the pioneers of what good storytelling and what craftsmanship is. Because regardless of what people might think of pulp fiction, of course not the movie, but the actual pulp fiction, they were the pioneers of it. They figured out, because they had to. It wasn't because they were like scientists or something like that. It's because they had to. They had to figure out what exactly sold, what exactly made up a good story, what were the elements, what drew people to read that story and to purchase it, and what exactly would make someone like it. Because they had to. They had no choice. They had to learn how to make a good, compelling story and write it quickly and with few errors, so they can get it published and they get paid. So out of necessity, they figured out these sort of things and how to produce great stories, or at least sellable ones. Ones with something that will draw in the reader, I think we've explored this before on some other streams, but a lot of these pulp fiction writers, they became well-known writers today, and some of these are writers that we know of today that we look at and hold over us and worship, or more or less worship, as great intellectual writers or fantastical writers, or writers who are to be respected or looked up to or studied. They were all pulp fiction writers. I think what was his name? The guy who made Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams, yeah, he was a pulp writer too. Okay, there was a lot. Almost, I would say, almost every writer that we kind of have has become a household name.
You know
If
who has
you're-
the most science fiction books, pulp stories, penny fiction stories? Is L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that amazing?
Because it was in your best interest to make good stories and make them fast and have. So if you look at a lot of the pulp fiction writers, they have like an enormous, almost inhuman library under their belts. I mean, they can have like upwards like 40, 50, 60 novels under their belts.
And it doesn't relate just to science fiction. It's also crime fiction. I think Dashiell Hammett was one of them. So there's all sorts within that genre, because we're talking about not only visual novels, but even just magazine prints, periodicals, or stuff that happens once a month. They got paid by the word, sometimes by the letter. So they have to be very good at what they did. So they didn't waste paper or ink.
Exactly, and they didn't have word processors back then. They had typewriters.
That would be a good literature devil video, maybe a little short one. The impact of pulp fiction and the value of it.
I would like to. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that in there when the. I have a video coming that I have planned for eventually, which is talking against the idea of disposable media. So that'll definitely be in there.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be something that you would do. Awesome.
All right, we get back on the super chats. Jake Surgeon, not swearing is better than censoring. You're on a platform that has far less strict standards than TV. It really bugs me when it happens. I know, even when I start swearing on stream, I'm very sorry, because I was swearing with Renegade Cut's video when he says something really stupid.
You're very sorry.
I think that's understandable. I mean, it's Renegade Cut after all.
I know, but he says something so unbelievably stupid after all these other stupid things. I just can't. It just irks me. So something eventually breaks my back.
I understand like why people get upset about swearing. I suppose it's just because I'm really used to it.
I'll tell you what I don't like about swearing, which is I think it's uncreative. I think it's so easy to use a swear word in comedy. People are basically looked down upon for trying to use a swear word as a punchline because it's an easy laugh. And I feel like there are so many words in the English language that you can use instead of a swear word, but what it represents symbolically, I think, is what overrides everything. It's like when you swear at something, it's because you're so exasperated that you don't have proper language for it. So I agree with you. I don't think it should be censored, except people get antsy about kids.
Well, the thing is, the reason why some people consider swear words to be so hilarious is because it's like, I give the example of kids specifically, because if you've ever like sworn in front of a kid, even if it wasn't intentional, even if you don't know a kid was there, they find it the most hilarious thing ever, because it's like a forbidden thing that you're not supposed to say. Oh, Miku, you said the naughty word.
You said the naughty word.
But yeah, like the more you're exposed to something, the less power it has. And I've noticed this over the years, like weirdly.
You heard it, folks. Shiny says, say the N-word as much as possible.
It's mostly America. You know, if more people did say the, I'm not going to say it, but if more people did say the N-word, it would have less power. If more people got like used to it.
That's what Patrice O'Neill said. That's so funny that you say that. He said, we may lose a few of you in the process, but it'll be worth it.
What was I saying? Yeah, fuck, you
said swear at children randomly on the
call them N-words.
I didn't swear at, there's multiple times where, like for instance, I was at Tesco's and I just realized I was late for my bus and I said, oh fuck, and I just sprinted, and then all I saw was the kids I was running past, they just started laughing hysterically. I was going to take it to something else, and then you distracted me, and I've forgotten now.
All right, we got two more wonderful super chats from Rox's Uzi about the wonderful world of Dark Souls.
We've been discussing it in the chat. I stop giving Smud money to make your arguments. It's not worth it.
We can have we'll have a Smudcast like Q&A, I guess. At this rate, we should probably just have a conversation.
We'll set one. Well, we'll set one up another time. How about that?
We can do a
conversation,
a Dark Souls Smudcast if that's the big, because we were about to do a Kingdom Hearts Smudcast last time, so I don't know if that's what you guys want.
I do like Dark Souls. I do like Dark Souls.
We have a Smudcast.
Just-
Chat attacks me for my video game opinions.
Look, how about we just have a general one? Because I don't like the idea of just sticking it to like Kingdom Hearts, but we can have a stream where we just talk about whatever the conversation takes us.
I'm saying that because I've said Kingdom Hearts is bad. Pokemon hasn't had a good game in the last 20 years. Dark Souls 3 is better than Dark Souls 2, and the Spyro remake is trash.
All right, fantastic. All right, so how about try this? Every Sunday or every Saturday or any off day that we have where we're not covering a video, we'll just do a general 2-hour conversation. How's that? And chat can get involved.
An anime Smudcast, what?
An anime what? No.
Slutcast.
Yeah. We'll have any conversation about gaming or anime or media. I think that would be the best because we're not even halfway done. And you guys are having a killing just throwing money and arguing with voice and making jokes, which is fun. It's great, but it takes the focus away. So
It's great, but you're humanizing voice on the radio. Don't let this.
we want to keep him as robotic as possible. Yeah.
I just remembered something. Yeah. So what I was talking about earlier. Strangely enough, the most people I've met that have the biggest problem with like swearing is like usually Americans. Or
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Busybody types.
Oh no, there's I've had like the most fucks I'll just start again because I slurred that to shit. The most like interaction I've had with an American like face to face is like my ex's like my ex and my ex's father. And
well, that's a good way to introduce yourself to America.
Yeah, she and him really didn't like swearing, and specifically
Didn't like England.
F word, the F word. They didn't like fuck. That they hated it, and I remember that like he got really upset when I said it, so I had to intentionally censor myself all the time, and I just made myself sound so much more British because instead of saying fucking hell, I would say oh bloody hell.
Oh, spot of bother.
Oh bother me. It
Oh,
seems
dear.
like
Bugger all. Blimey.
That's
Blimey
huge.
exit.
That's pretty.
Blimey
yeah,
FM.
Americans seem to have a strange thing with swearing. At least some parts of Americans.
See,
'Cause
that's
even Americans online.
funny. You're basing like 300
No, I'm
million
not-
people's
I'm not-
opinion on two people.
Well, no,
One
because
of them
it-
that you used to fuck, and the other one who didn't want you to fuck her.
But I'm saying that that's the most interaction I've had with Americans. But generally speaking, not just about not just them, but it's also just other Americans which I've met online or seen videos about, or this, that, and the other. And it seems to be more Americans which have the issue with it.
Maybe don't go to McDonald's anymore.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so we have these 2 super chats from Rock Suzuki. I'm going to read them out just because you spent the money, so may as well. The reason why they had to make the levels loop back into each other was because they restricted the fast level. It's not good game design. It's a waste of time also. And
You cannot do that because you don't know the dev team. Maybe they designed the world like that first, and instead of people skipping through it fast travel to fast travel, they took it away until it was appropriate so you could get immersed in the world.
Good answer.
You just don't understand the themes, okay, chat? Okay. I'm like, my wife is a doctor, okay? My wife is a doctor. I just don't understand the themes of and the idea that you don't understand the themes of Dark Souls 1 is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You're talking about walking around for hours as a problem in Dark Souls 1. I'd like to introduce you to the frozen tundra of Liam Loyce that takes you about 5 minutes to get through. Until the fast travel opens up, yes, admittedly you do walk around, but everything has been designed in such a way that it is easy to get through so long as you get the shortcuts. However, Dark Souls 2 is a linear adventure line going through basically a bog of mess from checkpoint to checkpoint, and some of those checkpoints can be like annoyingly long. Like it takes you 90 seconds to get from bonfire to boss, or 120 seconds to bonfire or boss, or 2 minutes from bonfire to boss. And then, you clear the boss, get another checkpoint, and then you're on to the next thing doing exactly the same again, going through an area that is conceptually great, but just a straight line with a few offshoots to do stuff.
Here's the thing: I fucking hate fast travel.
Anyway,
There's to be every day.
I already used that joke like 4 times this stream.
Damn it.
Morty!
Okay, number 2, Roxazuzi and ADP isn't the most important stat. It's attunement because it also increases both your magic slots and iframes. It's clear you haven't spent any time in Dark Souls 2 PvP or the game in general. Ooh.
I agree, you are a slot.
Shush. ADP is a levelable statistic in Dark Souls 2 that increases the number of iframes you have, as in, during a roll you are invincible for a portion of the time, so you can escape a hit. You have less than a third of your invincibility frames in Dark Souls 2 than you do in Dark Souls 1, and you don't get to the same level as you do in Dark Souls 1 until your ADP and or attunement is at level 20, I believe, when you have the same iframes. Nothing in the game makes this clear whatsoever, by the way. So even if you did know this was true, you pump the levels into ADP immediately so you can get back up to the base iframes you have in Dark Souls 1. Now that's not necessary if you choose to use a shield. However, many people do like having a secondary option to escape a hit instead of backing away and knuckling up. So yes, as opposed to like gaining 100 extra hit points or dealing 100 extra damage on the sword, I would much rather have the ability to dodge several attacks in a row.
I have a question. Do Over the Clankers call Clankers slots?
Yes.
Cogs.
Oh yeah, Hello Greedo's a thing.
Yeah.
We still got more super chats to go.
Here is King Jared. Last super chat was a pain to make. They really don't give you enough characters, but that's okay, Shiny. I'm not taking it personally. It was just me fanboying over you. My apologies. Anyway, that's my last super chat for today. He was fanboying over you, Shiny. Oh, isn't that nice?
Don't worry, I've had worse fans.
I know who they are.
People who won't fucking leave me alone when I tell them to. It's fine.
Jake the Surgeon. I agree, Glib. The N-word needs to be set free.
Okay, Murray.
You're
Get
horrible.
what you fucking deserve.
Shiny.
Shiny.
Just watch Mauler's 8-part video on Dark Souls 2. It's incredibly well done. I think it's his best work. So if you want to like speak to someone who's more informed, as in he's wrote this down, he's planned this out, go check that out, because I just complain like I am right now.
I was about to say, you sound like a very eccentric, technically driven Mauler whenever you talk about Dark Souls. So you guys have that much in common, at least. So
I do like my souls.
I'm just going to quickly read all the rest of the super chats if you don't mind. John Lemley, $5. Everyone say the N-word is the new. I'm about to call. I missed one. Jake the Surgeon, $2. I agree, Glib. The N-word needs to be set free.
Oh,
John Lemley, $5.
Outstanding.
Everyone say the N-word is the new. I'm about to do a pro gamer move. Joe Crazy, $2. Kingdom Hearts cast ? Scrolling down, I think there's that last one. I thought there'd be more. Let's go.
Jake, John, stop giving money, you simps. Or I will call you simps.
Stop simping.
Quit being simps.
And it kind of just makes me laugh. Because I've heard all this fake fan, real fan bullshit before 2 decades ago. Yes, Star Wars is definitely a generational thing, right? When I started this channel 9 years
I've heard it all before. It's all old news to me. It's like, okay.
Okay, then.
Just for clarification, I just want to say, in case I sound mean, Roxas, appreciate the discussion, but please do not waste your money spending super chats to argue with me.
Yes. Donate your money to me instead.
I am paying 10 quid to rant at.
I can tell you one thing. Hello Greedo is far more tolerable on Johnny Walker Double Black.
Excellent. Excellent.
Saying appreciate the discussion, but please save your money.
Please
Double Black
fuck
is
off.
very good, by the way. I enjoy Double Black, but I don't know if it's worth buying over Black unless it's on sale.
No, it is. Double Black is fantastic.
I'm gonna have to get a drink now. That sounds great.
It is
If you
fantastic.
Spend more money, Roxas. I will not only be taking a different opinion to you on Dark Souls, I will be very disappointed in you.
Spend money on Johnny Walker instead.
The Smudcast is telling chat not to super chat, and if you do, we're not going to like you very much.
We're the real socialists.
I have the opposite opinion. I'm here to have fun and make Smud money. That's what I am here for.
yeah, pretty much. That's
I'm the
just
capitalist here, therefore keep going. No.
Smud has us all and is exploiting us, and we need to overthrow him by unionizing Smudcast.
That's a point voice, says the The chairman.
Yeah, you're the chairman of the cast.
I do like. There's a meme in the Smudcast. It's the spaceman meme, and it's like, "Whoa, hello, Greedo is boring," and it's like, "Yeah, he always has been."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Smud Boy is the chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board.
You know, like Carrot Top.
Can that be like our catchphrase? By the way?
How is voice like Carrot Top? What are you talking about?
I mean, you're the chairman of the board of Smudcast, like Carrot Top.
Oh, okay.
Another quote. Everything's now a quote. I thought it was sometimes. No, it's all the time. Okay.
Smudcast, don't give us money.
All right. There's one from John Lemley again. Come over here and make
Damn
me
it!
stop simping. What the hell?
I will. At this rate, I'll be able to afford a ticket, right?
Pretty much. Jake, the more times I'm called a simp, the more chat I become. What?
What are you, some kind of you like?
What are you, some kind of? Oh,
I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
The more chat I become.
I think the chat is getting drunk too.
I wish I had more than water to drink, but yeah. The more chat I become, the more I want to clap those radio cheeks. Jesus, holy Jesus.
Well, clap those
saucy there.
No, gay.
I want to hit that radio.
Metal Gear.
It was really hard to find a fan of the prequels in the comments section. 9 years later, all those kids who grew up with the prequels, loved the prequels, are now on the internet defending what they loved. Star Wars is a generational thing.
I don't think
And
that's
it
actually
also
true. I don't think it's actually true to what the extent that he's wanting to say that it is true. I'm pretty sure it's true the fact that people are defending the prequels because they saw the sequels and say, okay, here it is. So a lot of the people that I'm pretty sure there are people who legitimately love the prequels, think they are well written and stuff. They would be wrong, but the prequels have a lot of things to love about them. That's also true. The thing is, when the prequels are compared to the sequels, there's a lot to love about the sequel. I mean, the other way around. I love about the prequels over
There's
the
lots
sequels.
to love about the sequels, like the fact that
the fact that the sequels made Mauler and the Smudcast and all that stuff, the NEFAB. So thank you for that.
But I think the reason why so many more people are now defending the prequels are because of the sequels. It's definitely changed the perspective. Because up until like 2014, 2015, there was a very small amount of prequels defenders. And even though there are a few people that say, oh, well, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars film because they grow up with it and it's got that nostalgia element. I don't think those same people would defend it as like the most well-written thing ever. I also enjoy Revenge of the Sith, but I also acknowledge that it's got a lot of issues.
I think a lot of people are defending the prequels because they saw the sequels and people who said, "Oh, the prequels are obviously the worst Star Wars movies ever," and then they saw the sequels and say, "You know what? Maybe not so much. The sequels are even worse." And so, in comparison, the prequels are way better.
Yeah, it's all relative, really, because of the it's
relative now because they added extra shit content.
If someone breaks your nose, it's like, oh fuck, you just broke my nose, what the fuck? And then, when someone stabs you, and then it's like, oh well, I guess that punching in the nose wasn't so bad.
Wow. That's one way to characterize the effect that the sequels have on you, Shiny. Okay. John Lemley, if radio is chairman, everyone else must be vice... yeah, okay.
I mean, the prequels are still a mess, but they're a lot I than the sequels.
Well, if you look at it objectively, you realize... I think seriously that the prequels do have some very good ideas. We've already said this like a billion times.
A billion fucking times.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The prequels have some good ideas.
No! Shiny! Don't make me kill myself.
Well, then I'll keep doing it then.
No!
Jake the Surgeon, it's not gay if you're punishing someone.
You're gay. You're gay. I'm not gay no matter what I do. Since I'm straight, everything that I have sex with is a girl.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Seems like beyond being a fan of a piece of Star Wars, it's also a generational thing for bitching and moaning about the new generation of Star Wars. I think that's going to be an endless cycle. And we might always be stuck with that attitude. We might always be stuck with people who have a...
You know what else has been said 1 billion times? This argument by Hello Greedo. Oh, you just like people like the prequels now because the sequels, it's trained to think the sequels are bad. And then 10 years from now, when they have another trilogy, they're going to think the sequels are good and the new trilogy is bad. Yeah, that's not actually true. Okay,
No.
You're cutting out all the context and the writing and the quality of
Also,
the prequels and the sequels.
You can't use a sample of just the prequels and the sequels to make this is a cycle. It's like, no, you need a cycle. You need at least 3 or 4 times for it to go over to realize that it is a cycle. And he's assuming it's a cycle because there is something that some people do. It's where they kind of because obviously the human mind likes to see patterns, and they'll force a pattern on something even if it's not there. So they'll say, "Oh, look, I understand," and they'll force something that they've seen onto something else, and it's like mashing a jigsaw piece into a place it doesn't fit, and they'll say, "Oh, look, I see the pattern. I see something that they just don't see, and I understand because I've seen it before."
So his pattern is basically that the movies will always get worse, and people will always relatively look back and think that the past movies were better.
No, I don't think he's saying that they're getting worse. I think that he's saying that the old generation's always going to keep hating the new stuff, and then the younger generation going to grow up with the new stuff.
It's always trendy to dislike the new stuff. That's what his argument is.
I get what he's saying, but what he's actually implying, if you look at the facts, is that the further that we get away chronologically from 1977, the worse the movies are, because we look relatively like, oh, the ones before were better. Because even he would say that the original trilogy ones were the best, unless he's now like a Last Jedi sequel boy or whatever. And then from the PT, then he has to say, oh, the PT was bad, and then the sequel trilogy improved it. And then the rest of the fans that are like us, that he's trying to convince are wrong, or that we're just being assholes or whatever, are saying, no, the prequels weren't very good, but now the sequels make them look good. Now, if he's implying that that's going to be like the kind of pattern, he's noticing the same thing that we're noticing. Because like, if he's saying that the sequels will be looked upon positively when they come out with new content, on the other side of that coin means the same Star Wars fans that have consistently liked the OT and maybe the ideas behind the PT, like we've said, are not going to like the new content. He's just assuming that we're going to change our mind about the sequel in the future. But if we don't, then the pattern becomes negative, negative, negative.
The only way that the current fans who like the prequels and the original trilogy, who really respect those and the legacy they set up, and if the only way those same fans, like the Phantom Menace types, will defend the sequels, is if the ones that come after it are even worse than the sequels. That's the only way.
Yep.
But
at least they didn't dig up Luke's grave and shit on him.
They probably will in the next movies, yeah.
Probably will.
What Hello Greedo, I think he's doing a little bit, is that he's throwing out the actual quality of the film, because obviously he's a subjectivist. He's throwing out the quality of the films from discussion completely, and he's then saying that he's all the idea of, well, if you enjoy a film, it means it's a good film. The yada yada yada, that shit.
It's a weird thing about subjectivist.
He's going in there, and he's then saying that he's then trying to point out that he's ignoring the fact that the sequels are terrible, and he's just saying, look guys, the people who are hating on it, it's just that they are part of the cycle. There don't have any valid criticisms. Like he's trying to push them under the table or like under the rug.
I think about subjectivists versus people like Mahler who believe in objective criticism in art. The subjectivists tend to disregard objectivity altogether in art, while people like Mahler they respect the idea of subjectivity and the idea of being able to like things on subjective grounds. But they also keep in mind the objective reasons why a movie can be bad or good. So people like Mahler and the people who believe in objectivity in art, they don't reject anything. They accept subjectivity. But the subjectivists reject objectivity. So there's one side that the subjectivists tend to reject an entire segment of reality. So their view can be consistent.
To them, it's...
Weirdly enough, even subjectivists, when it comes to something they something they dislike, for example, they will actually pull up, they'll actually make objective arguments. So, and the best way to say objective argument is say, you use. I think the best example is that you just use evidence to make an argument about something, and you're using the evidence to explain rather than talking from emotion. You're talking about what's actually in the film and not what you felt. So I feel like this is a good film, or I enjoyed this film. It's this film has a problem here. It's this right here. This doesn't work with the rest of the continuity. It actually this makes this or that look like this. Just using some kind of argumentation with some evidence and would not talking about how it made you feel.
The reason for that is mainly because I'm sorry as subjectivists, but objectivity exists even in art. This is why you can't help but make objective statements, because it's there. Like, you can reject it and pretend you can cite whatever you want, okay? Whatever thing makes you feel, but you can quote Hume. I love it when you quote Hume because it's funny. It's hilarious when you quote Hume to say that your subjectivist view is validated by Hume.
Well, Baudrillard said.
Exactly.
There it is.
Hibble subtleties or whatever it is. But
Gary Stottle once said art is all just made up because photons are fake.
Exactly. But the thing is, objectivity is there whether you want it to be there or not. And oddly enough, that's what objectivity is. It's there regardless of your feelings. That's what it is. It's not subjective. It's there regardless of how you feel about it. And you can reject objectivity all you want, subjectivist, but it's still going to be there whether you believe in it or not.
What I've noticed is that the people who think this way or feel this way, they don't make an aesthetic argument. They're using a metaphysical or an epistemological one where they say, well, you can't even do things this way. This is physically impossible to the human mind, or this is not how objects work. You can never perceive things that way. So they go the extra step and think they're trying to have this universal, which is an objective view of the world, because you're saying that this is how the mind works. And you're saying, well, yes, this is how the mind works, and we're saying this is how our perceptions work. And by the way, they're the same as everyone else's. Why is that? And they're not biased. They're just observing and listening and seeing the same things. So it's a silly argument. I don't pay much attention to when people say this, making me feel so sad. It's like, yes, it's a sad scene. It's not the be all end all of sad scenes. It doesn't have to be, but it's part of it. So the subjective is always part of the objective. This is what we see. Like we respect the feminist lens. We respect the political lens. It's just that people are abusing those lenses and using them improperly. Yes. So there's nothing wrong with having all these various lenses. It's using them properly for a certain reason in a certain way. And because of, I guess, the past 10, 15, 20 years of post-secondary education, people have been going crazy with social justice and and trying to remake the world better for people who are less than them or whatever, which is not the point of aesthetics, which is not the point of art. So I don't even want to talk about this anymore because it's too much.
You're saying art has an inherent purpose, but you can't get an art from an is.
Art has an objectivity, Morty. That's stupid, Morty.
That facts in art. What are you talking about? There's no facts in art. It can be just whatever you want.
Okay, look, Shawnee could correct me on this if I'm wrong, because I'm me being a fake Star Wars fan and everything. But weren't most Star Wars fans really excited, really wanting Force Awakens to be good?
Yeah, like if you look at that, there's plenty of media at the time covering from YouTube videos to even the actual news you can find on YouTube, where you have fans like over the top reacting to "Holy shit! Oh my god, the Falcon! Oh my god!" And it's like
my childhood's back.
Like late night shows are even going on about it. Comedians were going at it, and they even got to the point where I think it was Stephen Colbert talking to J.J. Abrams, where he said, "Oh, look, everyone loves your film. It must be really easy to please Star Wars fans. Like, you can just do anything and they'll eat it up."
Yeah, but because look, all these Star Wars fans, they were desperate. They were hungry for something new in Star Wars. Hungry for something to quote unquote redeem the prequels. And so they were so hungry that they were blinded to all the horrific flaws of The Force Awakens, and they didn't really see or accept the idea that the Disney Star Wars was horrific until The Last Jedi.
Well, here's the reason why you shouldn't hate the prequels, because prequels hate led to the sequels. More prequel hate will lead to more sequel films.
Hate leads to hate. But yeah, I mean, it was Star Wars fans were so desperate for something that would quote unquote redeem the prequels that they were blind. They blinded themselves to the flaws of the Force Awakens, and everyone loved it. People loved it. People were so wanting a Star Wars movie that was good, that would please them. They wanted it, but the thing is, so Disney did not deliver. Disney gave us nonsense, absolute nonsense.
Just to jump off what you're saying. So imagine if you had a bunch of really hungry people, and then they see a big pile of shit, and it's got Star Wars written on the top, and like, oh my god, it's Star Wars, and they all go running to the shit, and they start shoving it in their mouths, like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden, they look down at their hands, and it's like, what the fuck am I eating? Oh my god, it's disgusting. I
forgot what story it was. I forgot what story it was. It was a long time ago, but I read the story where the conclusion this guy came up with was that hunger is the best sauce. So this guy was savoring this meal that he was having, but the meal that he was having was just tuna out of a can because he was so hungry. And that's what I think Star Wars fans fell into. They were so hungry for a Star Wars movie that would be good, that would deliver something that was acceptable to their senses and their tastes and the legacy of Star Wars. And they accepted The Force Awakens as something that redeemed the prequels, when it absolutely, I'm sorry to say, was not something that redeemed the prequels at all. It was a horrific mess.
I remember at the time there was a subgroup of mostly things like Clone Wars fans, for example, because I remember I was part of them, that it was the biggest dislike against the sequel trilogy. Like the time of Force Awakens was a lot of people like Clone Wars fans who are upset about how far that Disney was basically giving the middle finger to anyone who liked prequels content. So like people who liked Battlefront 2 playing as the clones, and people, because obviously in the next Battlefront they didn't have clones, and it was very much at the time felt like they were shoving anything prequels under the rug because of the idea of the prequels did terribly. No, we don't do anything prequels. We don't talk about prequels here. And it was even kind of got further to the point where they destroyed Hosnian Prime. It's oh look, they destroyed Coruscant, and that's the Republic, and that's a big fu to fans, and even people were going on about how J.J. Abrams said it was a good thing. J.J. Abrams gave the middle finger to the prequels by destroying Coruscant, even though we didn't know it wasn't Coruscant. They never mentioned it's Coruscant, but it's never mentioned, so people just assumed it was. Yeah, at the time there was a very much the biggest thing against the sequels. I'm ranting on, but I'll just get back to my point. The biggest hate of the sequels was definitely the prequels fandom. Not people who were prequels defenders, but people who were fans of prequels content that wanted more clones and Jedi and shit.
I just don't want them to claim that they're stellar made movies that have awesome effects.
I'm talking more about Clone Wars fans and talking more about people who loved Battlefront 2 as they played clones, and for instance, or people who love the games and all the stuff media, which we got Republic Commando.
That's what I'm saying, is that I like the era, I like the world building, I enjoyed all the video games of the era and all that kind of thing. It's just when people make a statement comparing it to masterpieces of cinema, then I'm like, come on guys, just be fair. Stop being a fanboy for 5 seconds. I don't mind OT flaws either.
You see the episode 2 where Anakin talks about sand is the deepest moment in cinema, because you don't realize it.
I don't even complain about that anymore. I don't, because once I realized that Anakin is an incel that has never been around girls that he likes before.
Actually an incel,
yeah, it kind of makes sense that he would be awkward as fuck. And then I realized,
it's not even a joke.
George is a genius.
It seems to be true, because I mean, if you take it in the dialogue, taking how he was raised, yeah, I mean, it's not even a joke. It's actually would be a pretty accurate description of him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's but the problem is that it's diegetic stuff. It's like, if somebody puts the wrong soundtrack in a scene and it ruins how good the visuals and dialogue are, or if you have amazing visuals and then just terribly written dialogue. I remember I was last night I was just watching some random scene of something, and it was all shot beautifully. You could tell that the director of photography cared about his work, and then the dialogue was this millennial trash. Just it wasn't about anything. It didn't have plot relevance.
It was just there to sound like it was written by Tarantino for 5 seconds. But it
Something
wasn't,
that's
you know what I mean?
shallow but sound. That's supposed to be the writer thought. You could tell that the writer thought it sounded deep, but it was actually pretty shallow and meaningless. Yeah, that's millennial dialogue.
A character being needlessly self-deprecating without making a point.
You know, just randomly talk about the prequels for a second. Like one thing which I find most interesting about the prequels is like how much ahead of its time it was in terms of its technology. Because like you all look at anything else during the time, and it's like even to the point where we were looking at before, where it was cutting dialogue together or scenes together that weren't even there, and then that's something which they're doing more in films.
Just don't do it with Star Wars. Do it with anything else. George, do it with something that nobody cares about. Don't mess with something that has an aesthetic that's better than.
I still find it interesting,
you come up with.
in the technology, because like the amazing like lighting technology in the Revenge of the Sith, like that was way ahead of most like anything at the time.
Yeah, but that's a tech demo from that. Like if we look at old Unreal Tournament tech demos or something, and we go, wow, you know the lighting conditions that they invented were so good. They had 64-bit polygon. Like no one's gonna give a shit because it doesn't look aesthetic anymore. But when we look back at something like Jurassic Park,
I'm not defending it in terms of
looks good.
Like I'm not defending it in terms of the technology was there. Really, Jar Jar was amazing because he was CGI technology before. Like no, but I'm more talking about how the things which George Lucas was trying to do then. I'm talking about mostly like very specific things.
Yeah, it's exactly what we're doing now.
Yeah,
and he knew it ahead of time. And that's why I'm saying don't do it with my baby Star Wars, my favorite no CGI movie series. Keep it to a minimum. But he didn't. He went maximum. And that's one of the reasons why people hate the prequels.
All right,
I'm not convinced.
Let's
I'm
keep
not talking
going,
about
gentlemen.
the writing or the film's quality. I'm talking more about the technology itself.
I understand that. I'm saying that the technology of Star Wars, the OT, is old school, and PT, it was bleeding edge, and that was an aesthetic problem. That was a bad choice and a major choice because it affected every single minute of the movie.
I think it's more the way he used it. He used it as like a sledgehammer with the new technology. Just new technology everywhere. Just bam! New technology. Instead, it should have been more like a scalpel. So he used old technology for like background.
I think you have super chats to go over, actually.
Yeah, we have 2 super chats. We got to keep going.
I think we have something that we haven't talked about before to go over.
No, we've talked about this before. I know you have. It's been a few days.
All the technology of like miniatures or like for backgrounds and like for Mustafar, for the droid hangar, for this, that, or the other. But when it came to like front things, like Jar Jar, he used like new things, like new technology that wasn't ready for it, and he pushed that when it really wasn't suitable. You should have used new technology as something you could use as a scalpel and not just smash everywhere.
Right, I'm boiling my argument down now about technology to just, I want it to look real. I don't care how you do it. Just make it look real. If it looks fake and I detect fakery, I'm going to be pissed off. There you go. That's my new standard.
All right. Good talk. All right.
GG, no
2 super chats. Let's go. Rox Azuzi, don't set the N-word free. Oh, dear. Unless you want to end up in the hospital. That word will never be accepted no matter. Well, it's possible. I mean, we do have a parliament led by a prime minister who likes blackface and puts sausages in his pants. So, you know.
N-word? You mean Nightfall? I like that series.
The greatest actor of all time, Justin Trudeau.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
I don't know what happened.
We have 2 more super chats. Voice. Bravo. John Lemley. 3 super chats. Voice. Bravo. John Lemley, reject modernity, embrace subjectivity, Excel sites? What?
It's the Excelsiites. It's from the Sam Hyde 2070s thing, where it's like the Excelsiites will consume nuggets of neoplasm.
That sounds like him, yeah.
Oh, dear. John Lemley, we have super chats, Jeopardy theme. Yeah, I know. John, what are you doing just throwing money at the screen? Stop it.
This is why I hate rich people, because they can interrupt us.
Yes. Damn rich.
Super chats.
And this is why they should be robbed.
No.
That's what Renegade Cut says.
And I believe Renegade Cut completely.
Next time on Renegade Cut, steal from the rich guys. It's good for you. It's good
if
for
you're a little kid, just call the police.
Just call the police when someone's threatening you with a knife.
Also, defund the police.
They're also all bad.
But before you defund them, call them. Call them before you defund them.
Defend your property without your life.
Excuse me, police. Could you come over here and arrest some Nazis? Also, I want you to be defunded after this call.
Yeah, thanks for finding my package, by the way.
John Lemley says $3.
That's something good to say, yeah. $3.
Thanks, John. Say it with money.
True fitting.
Say it with your heart, but also your wallet.
Way or the highway arms cross can't believe and I liked. Kind of changed their sound. Now I have to shit all over anyone who might happen to like it mentality.
That is
It's
not
dumb.
what it
It's
is.
dumb. I'd like to think that people eventually grow out of it. It's dumb talk. And maybe we're always going to be stuck
big
with
dumb
people
dumb
like
big dumb
this.
fanboy talk.
A post from 2001.
It's hilarious
Yes,
that he
2001.
still thinks this is how it works. It's like, you know the joke that some people like regress or get bad? It's no, Greedo stays exactly the same. That's his issue. He's never fucking changed. And that extends to his opinions and his like outlook on everything. It's the idea that we didn't like change, so we hate it. If the change was good, we'd probably be on board with the sequel trilogy. But it's not. It's change, and it's bad change because it's objectively provable that it's worse writing than what we previously had.
Exactly. Star Wars fans were desperate
It's
for
got
something
fuck
new.
all to it being different.
All they had to do was be mediocre, and Star Wars fans would have accepted the sequel trilogy. But they just said, nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be mediocre. We're going to be really, really awful and insulting.
Here is John Lemley again. Why does Renegade Cut like the sequels so much? They're not gay horror movies from the early 80s. That's a good question. Why does he like... Does he even like the sequels? I don't even know. Does he admire them? I don't recall him talking about them.
I don't know, but what I do know is that Ray has more simps than a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
So, going back to the video, this seems to be interesting because he's... we're looking at a comment from 2001, and he's now trying to... paint this as like, because this is just going over this thing from the forums, talking about the Phantom Menace. Honestly, I hate the way films portray women in traditional male roles. I don't mean women, also women who are strong-willed, like Princess Leia, like female fighter pilots, female soldiers, female bounty hunters. I think Leia's character was great and rang real for me. Whereas seeing a female bounty hunter was the height of absurdity. How many female bounty hunters have you heard of? Come on, it gets real. It's ridiculous. I think there's a huge mistake for George Lucas to be slowly feminizing the saga. He's been doing it. It feels like it's trying to fulfill some kind of politically correct agenda, and he's using Star Wars to accomplish it. I came across this article of someone sharing the same concerns. Stop their feminist pandering. Seriously, this is a lame idea. Why is a female Jedi necessary or even beneficial? My point of view, The Phantom Menace was a fairly weak film in comparison to the previous films in the Star Wars saga. Part of the reason why Lucas is getting away from what originally worked for him is to start pandering towards other people's wishes, political correctness, communism, etc. A great example... but all-around useless character is Lando. Did Lando fulfill any kind of essential role in the films other than to be the black guy? Couldn't Han Solo destroy the second Death Star?
The Death Star.
Couldn't Han Solo destroy the second Death Star while they were attacked on Endor in Return of the Jedi, or maybe vice versa? After all,
pretty good criticism, actually.
Leia was the other Yoda spoke of. I think it would have been cleaner and a lot more interesting film. The original spirit of the Star Wars saga, Star Wars was George Lucas. I'll have to increase this because it's a little small. Here we are. The original spirit of the Star Wars was George Lucas's nostalgic salute to old science fiction serials. And the comic books he grew up with, A New Hope was so brilliant and fresh because he did not make it anyone else other than himself. It was a huge, well, I wouldn't say that. That makes something in itself brilliant. We've got The Last Jedi. It was a huge risk for him to take, but it paid off. I honestly believe he needs to go back to that. He does not need to make a film for frustrated feminists, for NAACP, or even his own kids. He needs to make the film he wants to make. Further, Star Wars is strongly rooted in mythological stereotypes or archetypes presented by Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell. Feminist writers have tried to make the warrior women archetypes comparable to the male warrior by twisting Jung theories, but only with limited success. In a classic mythology, there's something lacking in the warrior woman brackets. The Amazons of Greek mythology, for example, inexplicably cut off one breast, mutilating themselves over the shame of their sex. And I am still waiting to see the...
Wait, what? Hold on.
That's not why they did that.
That's not why they did that. They did that because they can fire arrows better.
Finally, George Lucas has done this most for the empowerment of women with the production of strong and decisive characters like Princess Leia. An all-time... At the time Star Wars premiered, Leia stood out as a blazing icon for modern women. Personally, I would like to see one woman in Star Wars, just one, who is truly submissive and to follow men. To me, that would be refreshing. I know this is... I know that he now has several girls of his own, and I wonder if he's regretting the films he made earlier. As a result of his own films, little girls brought up in the shadow of Princess Leia are taught that they be ashamed of their femininity like the Amazons of old. Girls now let their appearance slack, behave confrontationally, and concern themselves with the rat race of making money. In short, they have adopted all the bad aspects of men while failing to pick up on the virtues and honors and accountability. So are you telling me that we need I don't think so. I say bring back the old myth, George, and tell them true. Thoughts? Question mark.
That's hilarious. I love that. That's from 2000, right? That's from a long time ago.
2001, yes.
I agree with like 80% of that.
I don't. I think that was terrible.
He even so. Let's say theoretically, if this is like the worst piece of shit article ever, this doesn't invalidate like what other people are saying about it, like other things which are feminist, for example. Because he's trying to say, look, someone did it in 2001, and then he's trying to say that, oh well, this invalidates something which someone is saying in today. It's like, no, that does not work.
He's not going to argue it. He's not going to argue against it. He's just going to say, this is stupid. This is like when I was a fucking idiot. That's what he's going to say.
No, he's heavily inferring that it's like, oh, look, I found this in 2001. See, it's the same cycle. And he's trying to invalidate what people are saying now.
Yeah, but the problem is that what this article is describing is everything wrong with Rey. Everything that's happening and without George is in that article, and that's why I said like 80% of it is maybe not that much, but it sounds pretty
part of the movie where Rey is ashamed of her gender or sex. There's never one part of that.
No, that's true.
But
it's like her whole persona is that she's this like she's taking over the hero's role. It's the heroine's journey, which is what he was complaining about. That it's this warping of the myth, and he just wants a classical story about it. And that's why I thought it was interesting that he was like, okay, we have Princess Leia, she can be the feisty one, right? That's good, let's go with that. But let's have another one that is a little bit more feminine or whatever, right?
I think this person should read a little bit more. I think this person should have read a little bit more about Greek mythology.
Absolutely. See, that's the wrong part.
But I think specifically looking in the lens of like go back in time to what was it, Phantom Menace, maybe even Attack of the Clones. I can't remember when Attack of the Clones came out, but essentially, I don't think like looking at the films, I wouldn't say they're particularly feminist, and I'm not quite sure how this like applies because I wouldn't call it that politically correct. And he's saying things like. You can't have but roles like female fighter pilots, female soldiers, and female bounty hunters he has an issue with. I would say it's not like you shouldn't just throw female fighter pilots, female soldiers, female bounty hunters in there just for them to be female. You have to actually have them to be characters in their own right, and if you actually write these characters well enough, then you have I'm perfectly fine with how you've.
I think he's saying that there's no traditional female archetype that isn't a warrior type in Star Wars, and I kind of agree with that. Like I can't think of many just like female characters that don't get into the fight and start fighting just like the boys. Like that.
But he's saying, "Oh, come on, a female bounty hunter." Like,
I wouldn't call Padme a warrior.
No, but she and Leia are like the same archetype. Like they both go into battle, they both shoot the guns, they do the whole thing. They do exactly the same thing that men do. That's the progressive part of it. That's part of what they're trying to get into.
And then
There's no character. There's no character that like needs to be saved. That's a woman. There's none of that classic archetype stuff. That's what I was referring to.
Well, Leia needed to
He
be.
needs to get saved.
Right,
Yeah,
but
she
then she
threw
saves
out
them. She's the one that saves them in the end. You know
She
what I'm
throws
saying?
them into a
It's-
trash compactor, and then they need to be saved by C-3PO and R2.
Yeah, but they were going to be killed though. That's the
The
point.
thing
Is
is,
that
I
it's
would
all
say that in
equal.
the
He's saying that it's all equal, and that in the classic myths, it's usually a guy rescuing a girl, and that's not present. And I'm saying I find that to be factually pretty accurate when you look at Star Wars stories. There's
That
not
is
many
true,
damsel
but
in distress stories. That's all I'm saying is that it starts that way, and then it becomes more like Hidden Fortress, which is fine too. So he can be wrong about saying that it's a tribute to the 30s, and that because in Hidden Fortress the kid was precocious too, the princess.
I don't see what the problem is, but sure.
That's just his opinion. He said he even asked. He said thoughts.
Yeah, so this is
You're
the
free
kind
to
of
disagree with him.
this is
I'm
the kind of
just saying
post
I understand what
that he's got. Like I think Glib said, like 80% of it sounds good. Like I'd say maybe half is right, and the other half is just opinion. And it's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that people get heated up over, especially when you're talking about current fans or video games, what have you. That they get something so wrong. It's like, dude, just focus on what you said originally. Don't go off on this weird stuff about Amazons and this and that.
Yeah.
But then, like, he then also goes on to say Lando is a useless character
Yeah.
when he's the character who betrays them, and then he betrays the Empire to save them.
Right. So
I
I
think
would,
he's talking about Return of the Jedi.
so in my case, because I'm plot specific,
Yeah,
I would
but
say that is a
Lando is
very
not
bad thing to say because
black
the plot
guy.
requires Lando to be there for the story to continue and to end the Death Star. So these are things that he doesn't get, and he uses his headcanon to say, well, if Lando wasn't there, then someone else could have done it. It's like, sure, possibly, but that's not what happened.
Well, that's just how the narrative was written. But I don't think Lando was just there to be the black guy. He was actual character.
No, he wasn't.
I think in Return of the Jedi they wasted Han Solo, and I also don't. It's like you don't have to exclude Lando, but I think that Lando was doing what Han could have been doing because he took his ship.
I
They
agree.
went down to the planet together. That was weird. It would make more sense if Lando went down to the planet.
I'll agree there that it is kind of weird, but I think Lando is not the black guy quotation or to be the black
He is
guy.
the black guy.
But I think he
that's
is
not
a
the
guy
point.
who is a guy who is black rather than he's not playing what was the Cisco quote? Lit Dev, you remember it better than I do. He's not playing. He doesn't play.
He's playing a man who happens to be black.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't wake up and say, "I'm going to do a brown male
Yeah,
thing."
he doesn't wake up every day and saying, "I'm going to do a brown male thing." Doesn't do that.
You guys ever noticed at the end of Empire Strikes Back when Lando is in the Millennium Falcon with Chewie? He's wearing Han Solo's clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
See, what
weird.
I thought that wasn't. I didn't think that it was Han Solo's clothes. I thought that what George was saying with the costuming, and maybe it was just a reuse, but I think he was saying that was like a smuggler's outfit, and that they had the same outfit. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't exactly the same clothes, but it's like the uniform of the old smugglers. I have no idea what he was going for there, but I never got the impression he just like borrowed some clothes, even though he might have, which would have been even funnier.
What
Like, hey, can I borrow your clothes really quick?
Well, he didn't need him while it's frozen in carbonite, but I would imagine that he didn't bring a spare change of clothes with him when they ran off. It didn't look like he was carrying his wardrobe.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
So he's like,
hilarious.
I want to just imagine like Lando walking around in like a real just clothes that don't fit him.
But why was his first priority to then change into Han Solo's gear?
Maybe a few days at that
Just
point.
like old times.
We don't know how long
Chewie.
they how long it's been since they went left Bespin to meet up with the medical frigate.
All right, Chewie, I put his clothes on. You happy now?
I love that even Family Guy comments on it when they're doing the spin-off. Well, not the spin-off, the parody of Star Wars.
Because it's so weird.
Brian just looks at the camera and says, no, why are you wearing his clothes? Like, no, seriously. He looks at the camera and says, no, he's like, Lando is wearing Han's clothes. I go, that's the film. This is really weird.
I never noticed that as a kid. I didn't even think about that.
Because you'd think that he would get into an outfit that didn't resemble Han Solo. Because surely Han Solo doesn't have like 7 days the week the same outfit.
Well, they kind of make a joke about
Han never
that.
saved any of my cloaks,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
They make a joke about that in the Han Solo film, where he has all his hats and masks and cloaks and this and that.
A character wears a cloak once, and suddenly that's all he
He
wears.
has a wardrobe of cloaks.
Exactly.
Do you remember you remember in The Rise of Skywalker when they arrive at Kajimi and they're all of a sudden wearing giant duffel coats? Where were those on Ochi's ship that they stole?
Uchi.
Ochi.
Uchi.
It was Uchi on Octo and Exegol.
With the candlestick.
Lando calls him Ochi, so I refer to him as Ochi.
I just remember the way EFAP did it when they were covering the leaks, and I just like the Uchi. Darth Uchi.
Uchi Kuchi.
Darth Uchi. Well, like, what an unfortunate name. Apparently they've renamed him later, so he's not a Darth.
Oh god, there's so many stupid names in Star Wars. It's ridiculous.
Hiddle, maybe
He's still a Sith assassin, and his job is to like assassinate Jedi. But
So dumb.
it's kind of the part where in the galaxy there is no active Jedi at the moment. So why is his job to assassinate a thing which doesn't is like
it
it's only a
makes
smaller number of right now.
it makes sense for someone like Cad Bane in the Clone Wars when the Jedi are like a big thing. He specializes in dealing with Jedi, but it doesn't work for Ochi because there are no Jedi at the time. He's an active hunter.
And that's it.
Star Wars is bad.
All right, let's keep going. John Lemley, $5. This is a super chat on YouTube during which live stream that is worth 500 cents. Thank you for that
Shut up.
revelation, John. It's very helpful.
Thank you for wasting our time.
Bogue, all I hear Shiny say is that he hates women. Well, no, he doesn't hate women. You see, he went to America and he had experiences and he ends up hating McDonald's as a result. So who knows?
He hates America and McDonald's and everything
Here's
that's
the
good in the
thing.
world. I fucking hate jokes.
I like McDonald's. I'm just saying.
No, McDonald's is a fucking crock of shit. No.
No, I like it.
No, you're objectively wrong.
No, I like it. You contrarian.
John Lemley, 2001 writer just wanted to grill. Oh.
Yes, exactly. He just wanted no. There's stuff wrong with that, but I understand why a guy would be like, George, what the hell? What are you doing?
Fuck
Why are you
George.
so obsessed? Because what's funny is that a lot of the arguments that I think fail in the PT, every time people make them, I think about the same ideas being applied to Indiana Jones 4 and how it didn't work. And like George was like, I wanted it to be his daughter. I'm like, what? Steven Spielberg vetoed that idea because even Spielberg realized that Indiana Jones was like a male fantasy. He's like, George, stop making it all female. I wanted to have him in the car in the back of a car with another dude. No, we're not doing that. That's gay. Let's not do that.
Here's Rox's Uzi again. Video sucks. He's just another Star Wars simp. I'm going to go play Code Vein, which is basically anime Dark Souls with better combat. Oh, why listen to this?
I thought we could get along.
You were the chosen one.
You were the chosen one. I'm sorry, but I can't respect your opinions on Dark Souls 2 now that you've said that.
There are so many
Fucking
Dark
weak.
Souls clones out there. I'm sure there's something just for you, Rox's. So
It's like Dark Souls, but weeby and not good at all.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. I fucking hate weebs. They're all simps.
Because here's the thing.
I'm keeping
I
a joke
said-
counter.
Here's the thing. I said the Dark Souls 1 or 3 were better than 2. I didn't say 2 was bad. Just saying. But, Code Vein is far worse than Dark Souls 2.
all right.
I'm not arguing. I'm simply explaining why I'm right.
All right. There's a good way of putting it.
I don't make the rules. I just think them up and write them down.
You make them up on the spot.
Repeat that. 2001. On the Force.net titled Feminization of the Phantom Menace and Star Wars, where the author says things like, stop the feminist pandering. Or,
I agree.
It's a mistake for George Lucas
No,
to be
I
slowly
can't even think of any
feminizing the
feminist
saga
pandering
as he
in,
has
like,
been
the
doing. It
prequels.
just seems like he's trying to fulfill some type of politically correct agenda, and he's using Star Wars to accomplish this task. Or he
Amidala
does
is
not
so
need to make
dumb,
a film for
basically.
frustrated feminists, for the NAACP, or even his own kids. He needs to make the movie he wants to make. Get this
that is the
guy
movie he
a
wants to make.
fucking YouTube channel. If someone is looking to be upset about this type of thing, they will perceive it, they will see it, they will interpret it in everything and anything. Because they're starting from a place.
Again, look, I told you.
looking
I told you he was going to use it to try and invalidate the things being said now. I fucking told you.
Yeah.
Here's John Lemley. Dark Souls only exists for the combat, and that combat system isn't even as good as the one in the Batman Arkham games. Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh, get out of here. That's such a horrible.
That's
no.
a terrible take.
No, I like Arkham, and I play it more than Dark Souls, but that's terrible.
You
That's
should
absolute
feel
garbage.
bad.
Feel bad. Rabble.
I don't even want money.
Here's a complete
False words.
complete change to games now. 2Tim
I
505. Steve is in Smash. Can I get Doom Guy now, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve.
Because I have the power to say
No.
yes. It's happening now.
You have no. You don't get Doom Guy. You get Doomcock.
That'd be good. I'm okay with that.
Doomcock
what?
in Smash.
You know what? If I had realized that chat had such terrible takes on video games, I wouldn't have felt bad about saying Kingdom Hearts is trash.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm going to own it now. It
Ooh.
sucks, and if you like it, you should feel bad.
Oh,
Ooh.
he's right. You know.
I've noticed chat likes very eclectic stuff, and it's very big and almost sometimes very popular, but also not so popular. So it's kind of like in that weird sort of zone of you might be interested, you might know about it, but there's also like 30 copies or versions of that one thing. So
I'm kidding, chat. I do love you deep down. It's like a love-hate relationship. Which is weird because I'm a radio. I don't know what either of those emotions mean.
You also don't have hands, but you can drive.
Yes.
I mean, either way, emotions are dumb.
I just plug into the car.
That's dumb.
I would have thought like you no, but LitDev, I thought you would have thought that just your emotions aren't dumb because you feed off them. You feed off people's tears.
Yeah, that's why I know.
All right, let's finish this.
John
dumb
Lemley,
video
Hello Greedo's
for
off-brand Clams Casino background music needs to stop.
Oh yeah, that song. Yeah.
His like really weird clips where he transitions between his office and his table, that also needs to stop because like what the like I don't just use a clip while you talk or something. I don't care, and then you can just use that to cut between the things.
I love how people like him just think that Star Wars is this infinite creative resource that can't ever be ruined. It's so ignorant to think that something can go on and should go on forever, and you know, people that are the audience can be ignored and mass and like not be catered to. It's such a bad way to run a business.
To be upset. They'll even find it in the Phantom Menace, for fuck's sake. And this thread spawned 9 pages and over 200 replies. It's a topic that is not all that infrequent back then. I mean, look at this guy. This is a post from 2001 as well. He says, the first Star Wars has only white boys flying the pilots and doing all the work. The same with ESB to a certain extent. And then ROTJ, it's noticeable that some of the pilots who fight in the battle above Endor are black and Asian, but still all males.
Oh, what?
Slowly, peace
What's with all the race and
creeps
stuff?
into the saga. Jump to the Phantom Menace. Then we have minorities as well as females in fighting positions.
What?
I think you can agree that that's pretty fucking dumb. I mean, it's
Yeah, but look,
Why is he
he
bringing
said
it up?
that he said there's 19 pages, and he's looking at this one because it's racist, so that he can go see.
yeah, like I reckon there is some like good discussion in there, but he's cherry picked these like the most racist ones to try and he's trying to use this again to invalidate what certain people are saying about the films these days.
And usually the big things that gain traction is not the fact that, people are complaining about just women and races. It's about bad writing and the egotism taking over the writing process,
Mm-hmm.
and egos taking precedence or getting preferable treatment over preserving legacy, preserving character, and respecting the fans and the stories that they have come to love over the decades.
Because funny enough, like the gender and race of your characters, that ultimately doesn't really matter as much as the writing. So as long as you write these characters well, like you can have a gay, a lesbian, black, I'm trying to think of anything else now. It's a minority character. Just throw that in there, and then as long as you write it well, then you can. I'm totally fine with that. The problem is that you don't write it well these days. Again, I always go to the example of Doctor Who because it's just such a perfect example. Bill Potts, where her only defining characteristic is that she's gay, and she keeps repeating it over and over again how gay she is. That's not how you write a character, because it's terrible writing, and it's something which we see too much these days. And then we're told that purely because they're diverse, it's good writing, and that's not how writing works. If you write a character who is gay, who is black, who is this, that, or the other, I'm fine with it. Just write it well. Just don't give me shit and then say I have to enjoy it because it's X, Y, or Z.
Can we point out Greedo's logic of bringing up a Reddit post that is 2 decades old and is using this as his way to defeat some opposition, I guess? He hasn't really clarified.
He's trying to invalidate certain positions.
He's like, it's always been this way. Star Wars has always been made fun of.
He's not clarified an opposition or a team that he stands by outside of teenagers, and he's bringing up a 2-decade-old post to make his points.
Well, no, he's to say that, it's a loop, that you're always going to get people who do this, and he's doing that to invalidate people and what they're saying.
We can all agree, though, that this...
correct. You will always get stupid people that follow a franchise.
This is a stupid take. We all accept it. That's fine. We can move on. It's not a big deal. John Lemley, at least we aren't alternating between shots of the same room with and without a ketchup bottle in the background. Yes.
I love the ketchup bottle.
Lindsay Ellis and her ketchup bottle that magically appears and disappears.
Delicious French fries.
The magic ketchup bottle.
That was the best part of the whole stream. Lindsay Ellis. Okay. Oh, Jake, my cat has better takes on quantum mechanics. Hey, I like that one.
I mean, think about that.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
20 years ago, can you imagine anyone nowadays who maybe grew up with the Phantom Menace claiming that it was some type of political correct propaganda? Can you imagine anybody?
Again, now he's trying to say it's
today?
a generational thing, but I really don't think it's a generational thing.
I really don't. I've never heard anybody really say that it was super politically correct until he read that post. That's what's weird about
this is the first time hearing it of it as well.
I've never heard that. Like, I've heard that, like, maybe George was kind of progressive for having a positive female character, for including people in Return of the Jedi. But I never, like, even when you could say, like, couldn't Han Solo have done that thing? And I agree, maybe. I still like Lando.
So it doesn't mean a different character that's well written can't do it.
Exactly. So
I want to try and do a Lando quote, but I can't do the voice.
But what I do know for a fact is that they tried to be diverse, inclusive, and all specially Deschel with the sequels, and to no effect at all. They didn't use any. In fact, by putting a focus on the fact that you're so woke and progressive, that means that you better actually follow that up with some sort of part in the story. But because this intersectional stuff is so conflicting, like you have we have a black character and he's a main character in Star Wars, but we also have a woman character. Oh no, who's going to be the preferred character that gets to be the Mary Sue? Well, I guess it's got to be the woman, right? Oh, does that make us racist? Like, all that thought doesn't exist if you just don't have that kind of mindset. And you're like, what's the best character for this? What do I want to see? What are people going to enjoy?
I think we would agree Billy D. Williams was a good choice. So
he's the man, absolutely. I wish he did more.
If, the characters of the sequels would have been like Rey and Finn and Rose were well written, I don't think it would be as obvious as what their intentions were. But because it's quite clear they didn't put the effort in beyond the surface level representation, it's really obvious what Disney were trying to do.
You think
Finn sucks, like and I hate it because he has a lot of potential.
If people, but do you think people would be complaining about the sequels if it was well written? Do you think they'd be complaining about Rey being a woman? Exactly.
That's a good point, and it's always the point we should return to. I
It's
don't think
ultimately
anybody would complain about it. Yeah.
All right, 3 minutes. Scoot.
It's crazy. It's crazy how cyclical these things are. It's crazy how the old complaints come back to new material. It's crazy.
But what if it? Okay.
What if it's accurate?
Like if it doesn't matter. Like if you're making the same complaints, I could say, well, in the originals, in the prequel trilogy, Anakin is such a Mary Sue, and then like it doesn't like. If I was wrong, for instance, there, and then it came round to me making the same complaint about the sequel trilogy, that just because I've made the same complaint twice, and one of them was invalid, it doesn't necessarily mean the second one is also invalid, because we already know that Marie's a Mary Sue. So you can make these claims twice, and then the second one be accurate. You know, even a broken clock is wrong. It is right twice a day.
Joker is a Murray Sue.
Murray.
What the hell?
I'm jamming in the morning. Got my cup.
I would argue that suggesting the fandom is more.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that looks really like. I don't want to say sad, but I can't think of a better word. Just hello, Greedo, just jamming out, like bobbing his head from side to side, really like dancing shittily, just like yeah, and grooving to the beat, like something you do like while you're alone in your room when no one's looking at you and just listening to beats. Just rock your head from side to side while you're alone.
Maybe one day Hello Greedo will grow up and realize that arguing and making YouTube videos about fandoms is such a childish thing. I used to do that when I was 47. Now as an 83-year-old man, I can't even walk, so fuck it.
You know what I really want? I want a Clone Trooper VR headset. I want an actual... So like I want a virtual computer in my helmet that I can just have monitors.
Shiny, stop it.
You know, I think we need to teach African children JavaScript.
Shiny, get your plasteel armor on. We're invading Mustafar.
Well, but obviously that's not important as Geonosis.
Okay.
Imaginosis. Come on,
we got to go to the
Get
second battle of
Clankus.
Geonosis.
Come on, mate. Gotta invade the Kiwi land.
All right, no more jokes. Let's keep going.
Splintered today than it was in the early 2000s is to suggest that you were either too young to have your ear on the fandom back then or just didn't take part in the digital discourse, and I don't blame you. Either way,
Wrong.
It's fine. But just recognize that it was just as vitriolic, just as us versus them, as it is now.
I just have a question.
No, it really
Who's
wasn't.
us?
So how old were you when like Phantom Menace came out in 2005? No, not Phantom Menace.
2005?
Revenge of the Sith. I meant Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I was 14.
So 14, Smuds.
So what year was that?
Like 2005, Revenge of the Sith.
2005. So that would be I'm 25 then.
25. Yeah. So general. So did you like hear anything about like politicization or political correctness in Star Wars at the time, like with Revenge of the Sith?
No, don't think so.
I was
really don't remember
106.
Not one little bit.
All I remember was that people hated Jar Jar, midichlorians pissed people off, and they didn't like the CGI, and then the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. But it had what was similar is that TFA and TPM both had this initial period where people were like, "Oh my God, Star Wars back," and then it slowly burnt away and wasn't the same.
And in comparison, I remember when I was 14, 15-ish, people were making like similar complaints about other franchises. And then again, it's back to 16, about the same age. I was also hearing certain things as well.
Oh, let me just say also that people, even though they were like frustrated with maybe Phantom Menace, there was so much good content from that era that was in all different categories. So video games were good. There was some interesting comic books. There was some interesting books going on. People liked the written adaptation of the book.
Republic Commando.
Republic Commando. Even The Force Unleashed was fun at the time to play, and all this
So,
stuff in that period.
One of the parts that I kind of get a bit triggered now with Republic Commando is like two acclamators taking on a Lucre Hulk. It's like, no, I'm not bullshitting that. No, acclamator could not go against a Lucre Hulk. I'm sorry.
But yeah, anyway, the Lego sets were good. All this different shit, the designs, everybody enjoyed it. There was none of that in the sequel trilogy. There's no merchandise hype. There's no video game hype. Everybody's upset. And that's the major difference, is that no party except for this sort of fandom that likes the sequel trilogies a lot is being serviced. The super simps.
What a good villain, actually. Super simp.
I'm gonna donate to my princess, and you can't stop me.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great games. I mean, on the PS2, I think that was the era. So, yeah, no, that was a great time for games. I mean, that's when all the PCs started getting a little bit stronger. So, yeah, no, a lot of great stuff. Late 90s, early 2000s, yeah. Okay, Roxazuzi, let's get it straight. Zelda Breath of the Wild was one, if not the best open world ever created. The team did an amazing job making the world. Sure?
Good, but overrated.
Was that a non sequitur? Like, are we just talking about random video games now? Like, I mean, I don't mind. I'm just curious what's going on here. Is there some relation to
based on previous logic? Who's got time to walk around a well-constructed world design instead of just going from fast travel places to get through it quickly?
You know what I want to get through quickly? This video.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Andrew
would be
Clark,
nice.
again.
I
video
wish
has not
we
made
need
a
to
good point
invent.
yet.
We need to invent some kind of fast travel for videos.
This is
They
very
have
Joker.
that. It's called the timeline bar.
Oh my
I
god!
don't know why Fairy Joker's not in the chat, but okay. I've never been more
It's just
angry.
using the same icon. We don't have the same person.
What? It is the same person. I'm telling you right now. I've never been more angry watching Star Wars than Episode 3. Really? I thought Episode 3 was the
Well, not
best of the
Yeah,
three.
like, not Phantom Menace, not Attack of the Clones. Episode 3.
Pretty sure episode 3 was the best one.
Yeah.
That's why I cling to the claim that George Lucas would have been far better off if he had just done some rescripts and some rewrites and things, some second, third, maybe even fourth drafts. Because the third movie was far more on point, far sharper in its storytelling than what episode 1 and 2 were.
If the quality of episode 1 was like quality of episode 1 was like the level of episode 3, I think it would have been a lot stronger for, even though there is like iffy dialogue in episode 3 and there's like the art elements which do need improving, it would be a bit like, I think it probably would have been a lot better. Like the whole trilogy building off each other.
It's a similar concept in game design. You don't give us boring stuff in the first hour. You give us amazing stuff in the first hour, and then you amp it up from there. You do even better stuff in the rest of the 10 hours or 20 hours of the game. So
I remember we had so many good ideas when it came to like our idea for the prequel trilogy on the Glib stream.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there was all the like ideas about how introduce like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and how you do the films, and it's like oh do this and then do that and the other, and then we have this reveal, and then we start the Clone Wars in the first film, and then we need to realize we need the clones, and then you introduce the clones here, and then you have the droid army, and you do that and that with the droid army, and you do that, and there's just so much discussion. We
do our own rewrites. Lit Dev's rewrites of episodes 9 were great, with Rey being a forgotten Jedi or someone who forgot her powers or had a master she lost. Or there's all sorts of discussions I have with fans, either my own personal time talking about certain franchises, and it's never going to end because those stories have been destroyed. And all it took was like the extra 20 minutes with the writers in the writers' room going, wait a second, let's actually think about this logically. How does this connect? And they don't draw connections. They don't make these basic parallels of lore. They invent shit and say, go with it.
But why think when you can feel?
Oh, God. Did you know feelings and thoughts are connected? No, I didn't know that. Let's read about happy stuff.
Feelings don't care about your facts. Okay,
this is why feelings are dumb. Okay, this is why feelings and emotions, they're all dumb and stupid.
Well, it makes me feel like an alien because someone's like, well, didn't it make you feel this way? I'm like, no, because it was stupid, and I don't feel things with stupid things.
I'm a complete sociopath. I don't have feelings. What moves for me?
Don't you feel great when Rey is looking up at the lightning and then she hears Qui-Gon Jinn, and she hears Ahsoka, and she hears Kanan, and she hears Ayla Secura.
No,
and she
stop it. No.
No. It would be cool. It'd be really cool and emotional if it weren't stupid.
It's really cool, Anakin, but it's not.
Just like how much it fucks up the continuity of like Force Ghosts. Everyone's just a Force Ghost now. It's like what? But all these characters died before Force Ghosts were even just done. It's like, oh no, we'll just throw them in anywhere.
Like
everyone
you didn't see the themes.
You didn't see the themes. It was the point of the movie. The thing that you didn't like, that was the point of the movie. And what? How did you feel? How did it make you feel though? Oh, it didn't make me feel anything. Well, your feelings are invalid because you got white privilege anyway, and you're a man, and so it wasn't made for you. And it's like just goes on and on and on. It's like stop trying to explain away a lack of quality.
I actually like that in like they end up changing it so that not every Jedi becomes like a Force ghost, because then it kind of like, well, why isn't there thousands of Jedi talking to Luke or whatever? And I think it makes it a bit more special that only certain people can do it.
Sure, I agree.
And then, but all of a sudden, it's like, well, Adi Gallia, she died by the hands of Savage Opress, but you know what? She's going to be a Force ghost. It's like, I think, some people I've heard make the argument, it's like, well, what if Yoda taught Mace Windu? What if Yoda taught Ayla Secura before she died? It's like,
what if Tony Soprano came back as a Force ghost?
Before Yoda even learned the ways of, bringing people, keeping your life force after death. So why is she in the Rise of Skywalker?
Why Dexter Jettster came back as a Force ghost?
It's the same
I
problem.
want Dexter Jettster.
Ray, what do you know?
Oh, he should have been in Rise of Skywalker, man.
It's the same
Dexter
problem.
Jettster would be like another Sith, so it'd be like a Darth Sidious, Darth Jar Jar, and Darth Dexter Jettster. They're all trying to compete each other, trying to be the top Sith.
It's from Camino, Obi-Wan.
Hey,
Oh my word! Dexter Jettster set me up. He must be Sifo Dyas.
Sense a plot to destroy the diner.
It sends a plot to destroy the Jedi.
It's the same problem with Vader being a Force ghost. They burn his body, and apparently he's also good. He learned the technique as well.
He turned to a good one.
Last 2 seconds of his
Darth
life.
Vader learned the technique of being a blue man.
I kind of want a Dexter Jettster TV show. It'll be like Cheers, but in Star Wars.
Oh,
universe.
that'd be great. Yeah. You want a cup of Java juice? Not this time. And this
he's
time
actually-
you won't escape.
He's like legitimately, ironically good. Come on, he's entertaining. You can't say he's not. How does Dexter Jettster
Dexter
feel?
Jettster? I like
He needs to be
Dexter
more-
Jettster.
he needs to be in the movie more. I like them.
Everybody hates on the diner. I don't think they hate on the idea of Dexter Jettster. I think it's the name and the 50s thing that has nothing to do with anything. That's what people are.
There are so many dumb names. You're that guy who wants to sell death sticks. What his name is? Ellen
Alon Sleazebagano.
Sleazebagano.
Like Scumbaggy or something.
That's the
Scumbagano.
guy that's Mouse from The Matrix.
That
That's the
is
funniest part for me.
That's top 10 Star Wars moments. Like, oh, do you want to buy some death sticks?
You want to buy some death sticks? Do you want
Wanna
to
go-
meet the woman in the red dress?
Go home and rethink your life. I'm gonna go home and rethink my life.
I want to go home and fuck my wife.
That's actually funny as compared to like the Disney humor, which is like this quirky, random humor. George Lucas, when he made a joke and it landed, it was organic and connecting to the character, as opposed to, all right, time to stop the movie so we can have a little joke. Okay, joke is over. Time to resume the movie.
You can legitimately tell like a story about Dexter Jettster, like underneath the rule of the Empire, like that they're making business hard for him, and like he's really struggling financially.
Oh, that's terrible. That is so terrible.
It's amazing. Don't shut up. Look, don't debunk my happiness. But you know what I want to go to? I want to go up to Hello Greedo and just like, you want to go home and rethink your life. You don't want to make terrible videos. You want to go home.
It's
and
gonna be
rethink
like,
your life.
mind tricks that don't work on me. And he's gonna take off his helmet and it's a Watto underneath.
No, it's just there's nothing underneath. My tricks don't
Like, I
work on
figured.
me. Only bad takes, and then he takes off his helmet and there's nothing.
Little dumb for a stormtrooper.
Here's John Lemley. Red Dead Redemption's 2 combat system
No.
greater than anything in Dark Souls. Whoa,
No.
that's
You're fucking wrong.
that's
I'm
a
playing
lot.
it right now and I'm saying
Mistakes
no.
in Dark Souls, but I've never played either of the games. But you're fucking wrong.
I
Can't
don't know.
blame-
I'm conflicted. I like the combat in Red Dead.
No, you're obviously a fake fan.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, an American would say yes because there's guns. I guess I don't know. No,
I love guns. It's better because it has guns.
Yeah.
Swords
Here's
are
the
for
thing.
Europeans.
I really
I like
like
guns.
guns.
I like guns. I like burgers. I like being fat and pizza.
Hey, that's every American.
I'm every American, guys. Woohoo! Cowboy.
All the Americans.
I'm all America.
And it's like, I could tell you look that heavy.
That's what the like USA is like I'm all America, and then just like South American countries like hey, but what about us? Though I am America.
Real
Everybody,
America.
everybody
None-
thinks that
The real Americans
is-
versus fake Americans, okay? Real Americans are
Everybody thinks that America is just like the land of Alex Joneses, and we're all just raging constantly at the donut shop before we get our coffee. I love it.
Frogs, fucking frogs. It's just like just Alex Jones screaming at like a pond. It's like fucking frogs.
Why do I gotta wear a mask to Walmart? I'm not sick with the coof. This is taking away my freedoms. I can't go to church.
Well, the thing is, the media has like a lensing effect on like the craziness, and because America's so big, there's just so much craziness. And then
They do
it
a Hello Greedo.
all-
They pull a Hello Greedo. They get some talking head, and then they say, "Look at this one stupid guy. Isn't he so stupid? That's everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Look at all of these people. They're all
it's
like
a
this."
cycle. It's not just one person.
like even the BBC. I remember watching a thing like covering some Trump supporter or something. It's like, I used to be a Trump supporter, but then I started realizing all the terrible things he's doing. It's like, oh great, BBC, you just handpicked this random person you found.
random person who was never a Trump supporter who's just coming on to mute the news to say they once were. That's
Yeah.
it. They were,
In Great Britain,
they were ever a Trump supporter. None.
I'll say maybe they could have at one time been a Trump supporter. People have been known to change their mind, but like just as you've
Wait.
nitpicked, you've
Shiny.
cherry picked this one person
this is the Great
just so
Britain.
you can try to make a point
This is the
about,
BBC in America.
So there is a division of the BBC in America.
Oh, okay.
There is actually BBC America.
All right.
They do news reporting. They also deliver. They're responsible for licensing of British television shows from the BBC in America itself. So like that's how the Doctor Who got to America. They did a licensing that they did it through a BBC America for a licensing deals and such. Because they need a legal presence in America to actually start
All
doing
right.
that.
Okay, let's keep going. Adam Whifford. But I'm working on a story where a group superhuman soldiers break away from dark entity and escape ends up going to another universe and choose to keep what happened in their universe from happening in this one. Okay, good for you, Adam.
complicated.
I guess keep on writing. I'd love to read whatever you got going there, sir. So yeah,
Keep it up.
yeah, keep it going. Don't stop. Send it to a link or something on Discord. I'd be happy to check it out for you. That's no problem. John Lemley. No gods or kings, only Dexter Jetson. Okay, that's
Jetson. I love that. It's instead of Jetster, it's
Jetson.
Jetson, like the Jetsons.
Glib, I will pay you to just constantly do the Dexter Jetson voice.
what?
What do you know? I'm being Dexter. It'll just fall apart after that.
Because like whenever you do like a certain, at least for me, I can only say like certain
Yeah.
things like one voice, and then I'll just cut like anything I move the further and further away, I start to lose it. Like
Yeah,
whenever
that's-
it's Scotland, I always have to go but like say the word Scotland in every other sentence to try and recapture the accent.
Yeah, it's just like exactly.
Bing
I can't
Crosby
do that voice. 'Cause it's a ridiculous voice though.
Alien version of Bing Crosby.
Just always be amazed at whatever's going. What you got there, Obi-Wan? Is that a dildo? I like doing Obi-Wan though. I can do Obi-Wan.
Do everyone do it.
I will always be able to do Obi-Wan. Alec Guinness here. Shall we continue?
All right.
I'm a bigger fan of James Allen Taylor's Obi-Wan. He manages to mix.
Yes. I need
two
to. I need to listen to it.
All right.
Not
Bogue.
not younger Obi-Wan. That's a totally different voice. Doesn't
Bogue. Let's do Bogue. Bogue, Dark Souls
James Allen
fans.
Taylor managed to combine the two accents into one and to try and like combine the voices, and I think that's a very admirable approach to try and do something which is a bit. I've already forgotten what the actor of Ewan McGregor. That's it. Like he's combined Ewan McGregor with like
Ewan
the-
McDonald.
All right. Bogue.
Honestly, Ewan McGregor. I
All
also
right.
love him as well.
All right, we're doing a super chat. Bogue, Dark Souls fans are the JoJo fans of gaming. Loud, obnoxious. They think everything is reference to the game, and the game is be all end all. I don't know. It's a pretty popular series, and it spawned all like dozens, if not hundreds, of clones. So it's its own genre at this point. So, props to whoever, started that whole thing. So I would not say it's not a bad idea, but it's definitely the first. Or actually not the first, it's the most popular version of that style of game, I would say. Roxazuzi, Smud, have you seen the Kingdom Hearts meme about you in the Discord meme channel? It's funny. Nope. I'll get there. Also, Code Vein Combat is better than... Okay. That's Luckily, Voice is not here. We've gone over that. Let's keep going.
You can access most of the old forum posts if you want to. They're all still there, for the most part. And it's an interesting time capsule. But nowadays, it's just louder. It's always jumping out at you through your phone, notifying you that someone wants to digitally spar. Everyone's playing Thumb War on social media.
I'm not.
The monetization of digital outrage that incentivizes more of the same. It's just different now. It's just louder. It just seems more present in our lives because we allow it to be more present in our lives. So, there's a lot of Star Wars that I don't like. There's a lot of Star Wars that you probably don't like either. And then there are some people who run around saying all Star Wars is good Star Wars and then shit all over anyone who says they don't like a piece of Star Wars, which is equally dumb.
Unlike
you can like stuff, you can hate stuff. You're a fan if you like what I don't like. You're a fan if you do like what I like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey, it doesn't matter.
That's a great sentiment. That fandom you have, you like or dislike? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're just a guy. You're just a person with an idea.
Matter. It's all disposable media, right? It's nothing matters about anything. It's all nice.
What a horrible thing. Can you imagine if I went on...
favorite way of thinking about it.
Yeah, if I was like talking to fans of Mass Effect or whatever, it's like, what? Your opinion doesn't really matter. Yeah, you like something, you dislike, who cares? Doesn't really matter.
What's funny? It's like, I love how we use the food explanation because that's always such a good metaphor for consumption.
Sure.
So it's like, hey, do you like your burger there? No, it's not very good. Yeah, well, you know what? Doesn't matter. We can talk about it. You can argue about it and criticize it. Doesn't matter.
Fuck you.
It matters.
What? I want a new burger. This burger sucks. Give me a new burger. But and because in the service industry, everybody knows that customer is right. Somehow art lost its way and went, no, I'm the best artist. Even though I'm making a corporate product, I'm so special. Look at me go. Oh.
Here is 2Tim50, or sorry, 505. I found a book called Politically Correct Bedtime Stories at Goodwill. Oh, that's gotta be a fun read there, sir.
It's either awful or amazing. It's either like straightforward, politically correct stories, or just mocking the idea of political correctness. So it's either awesome or just horrific.
Oh dear. I guess that's an American published book. I don't think maybe. Well, it could be Europe. I don't know. I don't know what the climate is like there for politics, but definitely Americans would be writing and consuming that book because it's about politics, and Americans love politics. So
Americans love to complain.
I think it's just politics in general. I think everyone loves to complain. So.
Oh, definitely.
Eric Santucci. Showed up late. Hi, guys. I assume this video totally isn't just yet another smokescreen for Greedo to deflect sequel trilogy criticism. Wink, wink.
Yes.
It could be.
You are absolutely 100% correct.
Bringing up posts from 2001 about random people's takes on stuff, which is not quite relatable, but it's all cyclical anyway. It's like, okay, yeah, sure.
You're not actually looking at the criticism themselves and like seeing if they're correct or not.
Just referencing them and going, that's silly. Like, okay, yeah.
That is what fools do. Care about lore.
There's a wide variety, old and new, of Star Wars material out there for everyone to enjoy. The difference is being someone who day in and day out wants nothing more than to argue about the merits of fandom on the internet. It's dumb.
Okay, so instead of doing it day in and day out, you make a video every 2 weeks or whatever you do. How is that any different?
Well, now at least we can definitively say that what Hello Greedo does doesn't matter.
That thing you like, Hello Greedo, that thing you've obsessed over the past 7-8 years, you wrote a damn book about or whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, your book doesn't matter. Nothing that you said ever mattered on the matter.
Oh, hey, Voice.
And remember, this is his words, not ours.
Yeah, exactly.
And where are you broadcasting from today, Voice?
My Discord crashed, so I just wanted to come on using
Thank you.
my other internet devices to
All
say
right.
goodnight to chat.
Are you an
Podcasts.
internet device?
Indeed, I am plugged in directly to the Wi-Fi. This is my normal strength via radio. It's kind
It explains why you're cutting out.
Okay. Well, thank you for popping in there, voice. We appreciate it. And I'm sorry I went on so late and so long, but we'll be happy to have you on soon. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for movie night.
Hopefully, we need to refine sticking to subjects and getting through a video within a reasonable time.
I agree.
Terrible tangents.
I totally agree. I think you're the person to make all those criteria of what we should do about that. So we'll definitely talk about
do the EFAP thing and skip the super chats until the end.
If they keep blasting
I
us
think
every minute, yeah, I think we should just skip.
I think we need to have. We should consider doing like a 2-hour video or like just talking. Get it all out of our systems, and then don't have to do it during covering terrible videos.
Most of it comes up from the super chats because it becomes a new topic.
It's your fault, chat. We blame you.
Fuck you, chat. You're wrong.
Chat's best chat. Best chat. Thank you for tuning in to the Glib show featuring Smudboy, LiteratureDevil, sponsored by Shiny.
All right. Here's 2Tim505 again. I'll tweet it to you. All right, great. I'll be happy to check it out. A politically correct bedtime stories book. That's great. Oh no, Jake the Surgeon, what are you doing? Cold take. I don't care for the Soulborn games. They're not bad games, just not for me. Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Exactly. That's totally fine.
Just to get to them.
One more minute. Let's do it.
It's embarrassing.
I'm gonna say goodnight.
It's that teen.
Okay.
I'll speak to you all later. Hopefully,
Talk to you
with
later.
Video
Good night, voice.
absent.
Teenage mentality that I was talking about earlier that unfortunately some people never grow out of. So,
Says the man with a helmet on his face acting out on YouTube for 6-7 years. Okay, sure.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this being a teenage style or youthful effort and holding on to my childhood. And
What is
wanting
this?
to
People reading
something.
books and playing games and watching. That's so teenager like. Like, what are you doing?
No, it's talking about it. You can do it. It's just arguing over it. It makes you look like you're stupid. Because remember, as Shawnee said, this is the guy that says he can't think of a bigger waste of time than debating art.
fake fan, real fan. That is dumb.
What the fuck is? Why does he keep cutting this?
This whole video has just been this. Okay, fake fan, real fan. That's dumb. It's been 10. It's like so far it's been 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes of that.
I can't think of a bigger waste of
do you
time
think
than
that he
watching a
needed-
Hello Greedo video.
Do you think that he needed the music because he wasn't gonna make it to the 10 minutes for the ad?
Pretty sure because he barely made it 10 minutes. I'm pretty like I said.
Oh my god, you're right. Holy
I'm
fuck.
pretty sure, like I said before, I'm pretty sure he just made this video just for content purposes. Like he needed to make a video because he had made one about a week or so, so he just pumped this out.
You know, I think you're right about that.
I realized that he could redub all his voice so that he sounds super clear on his mic because you can't see his lips move and he just does the actions reading his script.
Yeah, just like Doomcock.
Yeah.
Wait, so yeah, if he's redubbing everything, why the hell is he swearing?
He wants to swear. Yeah.
Because he could just not swear, and then he bleeps out later.
You don't understand how cool he can be.
Cool without swearing.
That's it. He just put those random fucking clips in there.
Yeah,
you know,
so-
you could just I don't know, advertise your fucking Patreon, do something.
Yeah, just pad your video with your patrons to make it longer. There you go. Hello, Greedo.
Or maybe
is
have
an
a real outro.
all things Star Wars YouTube channel, parody, reviews, news, and much more. Grow up, Hello Greedo. It's
Not
so
really much
so
more.
teenager, so childish. What are you doing? You've been doing
Think of
this.
a bigger waste of time than having a Star Wars YouTube channel.
He kind
Grow
of
up.
said nothing throughout the whole video. Just
Yeah,
this is dumb. This is dumb for 10 minutes. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. That's it.
I mean, I actually thought there would be more talk about like because there is
Something.
at least because there is something you can talk about there with a certain toxic element of the fandom. Because there are people, I'm not going to pretend they aren't real, but because I have seen people who do say, "Oh, well, you're a fake fan. Oh, well, you're not a real fan because you like or dislike this," and they like try and lord it over someone else. So it's real. And I thought maybe there would be some kind of discussion we can have there but I certainly don't think it's as widespread as a lot of people seem to think it is. Because it is sort of like a lensing effect when you constantly keep looking at all these examples. Because again, the bigger the fandom is, the more examples you can use. And if you just fill up the examples without any kind of diversity in there, it makes it look like this is the only opinion Star Wars fans have. Or at least people who don't like the trilogy, for example. I don't know why, but I thought there'd be something we could discuss here. Even if Hello Greedo wasn't talking about it properly, I thought we'd maybe use it as like a jumping off point to actually talk about like a toxic element of fandom and how it's quite smaller than a lot of people seem to believe it is. And it's ultimately the people who they try to say are doing this are not really doing this. It's someone else. But no, he didn't even. He didn't even go.
It was 10 minutes of nothing.
Yes,
It really was.
vapid.
I get what he was trying
dumb
to say, but it
opinions.
was so dumb.
Yeah, no, he went about it the wrong way. He brought
Maybe
up
he should have
points-
redrafted.
Yeah, there you go. Oh boy.
He was using cutting edge technology, Shiny, to make those transitions.
It's the same argument with like
Transitioning from the same point to the same point.
no, it's the same argument. Like you're just complaining to complain. It's like no, I actually don't like this thing.
Like he made the Patrick Willems argument, except about arguing about the quality of something. He's plot holes, they don't actually matter. Your fan opinion, it doesn't actually matter. It's like, and then they're always trying to say you can do what you want. It's every video goes like this. They always caveat it at the beginning because otherwise they're gonna sound like complete assholes. So they go, you can have your opinion, but here's the thing, like, and this is why it's invalid. It's because 2000 there was a guy that said feminism is bad. George Lucas, don't do that. Can you believe that? So anyway, the point of my video is real fan versus fake fan. It's dumb. And it's for teenagers.
All right, we're going to read some super chats and figure out how to read super chats in the future Smudcast so we don't piss people off and waste time and get people, because we do have people in other time zones, and we're lucky that Shiny is a trooper, that he can stay up so late. So yeah, I wish we had voice on more often. I wish we had other people on more often as well. So let's do these three and we'll talk about that. John and Emily, this is dumb. Describe Hello Greedo in 3 words or less. That's one way of putting it. But he's an easy video to cover. See how easy? It was just like, oh, this is stupid. This is silly. Very, not very intellectual. Very just like, yep, I can consume this and not think about it. And
Wait. Apparently his next video is him playing with 90s toys.
nice. Nice.
So totally what mature adults do.
Yes. So thank you, Hello
He actually
Greedo.
did like playing, I think, Squadrons, but it's unlisted. But I managed to catch it just in time.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Video where he was playing, I think, Star Wars Squads or what the new one.
Quadrants, yeah.
Squadrons, and it's unlisted now. But I think I managed to catch it. I think.
Send it to me. Send me the link. Go and do it. I want to see what he's doing. I want to see like what he thinks about the characters, because I've got a feeling he's gonna be like, oh my god, these characters are amazing.
Here's Joe Crazy.
I
Hello,
swear,
Greedo. Anything about Star Wars is dumb. Arguing about Star Wars is dumb. Plays dumb 80s commercial. You know what? I think that's just his motif. He wanted to have this 80s vibe thing. I don't know why, but that's fine. I don't care.
I like the 80s too.
It's cool. It's
That's
fine.
fun.
Hello, Greedo. I swear because I'm a big boy. Yeah, I don't. This is so hypocritical. When you say, "Oh, this is so childish. This is so back in the day. I used to do this. Yeah, then I grew out of it." No, you didn't. You're still here. You just use different words.
He's playing Squadrons with like a pilot helmet on, and he's got the whole live stream. Punch my mic, and he's got like the whole like live stream face thing on his stream. Is he actually like looking at the story, or is he just playing the multiplayer? I think he's only playing the multiplayer. All right. Okay.
All
I
right.
see.
And 210-505, I sent it to you. Thank you. I'll check it out on Twitter, and I'll be happy to give it a gander, whether it's a link to something or Amazon page, doesn't matter. I'll check it out. Thank you, sir. All right, so if we're going to get bombed like that again, which we probably will if you guys are as emotionally powered as you are, we're going to have a second chat where it's just we answer all the super chats, and I'm not going to call everyone on. But whoever wants to come on, like it's not going to be a guaranteed thing. I don't need like Glib to pop on unless he wants to wants to shoot the shit. That'd be great. It'll be a lot faster for everyone because that way we can focus on the stream as a topic, and you guys get to watch that. It'll be a lot shorter. It won't be 3 hours anymore or 4 hours now. Whew. So that's good for everyone involved.
What we could do is that if super chats start to take over a certain amount of time, we can just say that we're going to stop reading them out unless they super chat over a certain amount, and then we can just cover like the ones which are $5 or $2.
I think
later after the stream.
I think we're still going to pay attention to chat, like if there's something interesting that someone's saying. But I can definitely do a separate video just on super chats, and that's totally cool. So it's easy. It's easy to set up, and we'll disable chat for. Obviously the stream, and we'll just read the backlog of super, because I could print out a list of super chats. I think YouTube allows you to do that. And if not, I can get a plugin to do that anyway. So that will, and no one has to join that. I can just do it myself and do my best. Although some of the super chats will be involved. So I might have to ask one of you guys to come on if you want. I think LitDev will be happy to laugh around with all the wonderful super chats I'm sure are aimed at him or other things related to his knowledge. So anyway, that would be one solution. If that's good, leave in the comments. I'm going to make a poll, make sure that's cool with you guys, because I don't want to make you feel left out because you guys you spend the money, you may as well get something for it. And we can dedicate an entire live stream to that. So why not? Anyway, 4 hours.
Quickly, because someone's asking me, is Squadrons any good? I would say there is certainly some good stuff in there. The problem, I would say the main issue is the story. The story is absolute terrible, but it's the actual story missions themselves and the scenarios it puts you in and the gameplay, that is kind of fun, depending on the actual level itself. But the story is absolutely terrible. The characters are absolutely terrible. But for $20 and the gameplay, as if you're fine with like the Battlefront 2 style of fighter combat, this is that but slightly modified to work as a flight sim. I can only really speak from experiencing in VR, but my experience in VR was a lot of fun, and for only about 20 quid, I think it is worth the price.
Okay, great. Now, tomorrow we're going to be watching a movie. It's Judge Dredd 2012. It won't be streamed.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be putting our responses together. I'll be recording. If anyone else wants to record, go right ahead. And I'm assuming it's going to be like voice again, but Shiny, if you want to do it, you can do it. I don't have much capability unless I switch to my other computer to do video editing. And I'd rather you guys get the opportunity to do our video nights because it's been a pretty good routine where either voice or someone else takes it. So if you guys want some content, feel free to step ahead and make a video on this. But yeah, that's all based on voting from you guys from the community tab. I appreciate that. And hopefully we'll get that out either next week, depending on who's doing it. And what else is there? We were supposed to have game night tonight, and I apologize to everyone that was waiting for me in Discord. I know I mentioned it. I was expecting this video to take an hour and a half or 2 hours because it's a Hello Greedo video. They're very quick. That didn't happen because of the super chats. So, yeah, sadly. We'll
Convenience of money.
Yeah, well, not that much money. Money is good, but not that much. That was too much. So thank you so much for tuning in and stretching this on longer than it should have been. But we always appreciate your time. Thanks Glib and BB for being here. LiteratureDevil, you're always welcome. And Shiny, well, you are pretty much the heart and soul of this place. So Thanks for tuning with us together. I wish I could say goodbye to Voice, but he already, he has a different sleep schedule than Shiny.
Sorry, I was zoned out for a sec. What's saying?
Just giving you heaps of praise and that sort of thing.
Oh.
So anyway, thanks for.
Hey, I can still get up at 8 o'clock in the morning despite staying up till 4.
Okay, it doesn't sound healthy.
Sleep for the week.
Oh my God, Shiny, go to bed, please. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks.
It's only 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Come on, this week.
Keep those suggestions coming in the suggestions section of the Discord, and we'll see you guys real soon. Good night.